What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope you're doing great. Another episode of Heavy Metallurgy. I'm Marty. Good to see you. You will notice I'm deficient a co-host this evening. Alan has succumbed to the Warriors of Ice, and he just had a long week of dealing with weather and snow and ice and crap and being online doing what he does, and he just tapped out for tonight. So cheers, Alan. Have a beer. Hope you're doing well. We'll talk soon. But I've got two awesome guests to help fill the void for Professor Steele. And first up, let's get Jake in here. This is his first time on the Heavy Metallurgy channel. What's going on, Jake, from the Upside Down Church? How's it going?
Well, it's going good. It's going good. I'm glad to be here. My channel's the Upside Down Church. I haven't been super active for probably the last 3-4 years. Not that I was super active before, but I'm working on getting more active than I was in the past. I just posted a video last Sunday. Gonna have another one coming this weekend, going over my albums of the year. But yeah, excited to be here on Metallurgy.
Yeah, it was a top 10 of 2025 was your return to form. Was that what it was? Yeah.
It was like top. It wasn't a 10. It wasn't even like listed. I didn't have an album of the year. It was just like the albums that I thought were like the top tier.
Yeah. And of course, you might look familiar to some of you folks who are watching over on the Satter Slay crew YouTube, over at Dreadful Ricks or Gas Masks and Hand Grenades at Jeff's channel. The Saturday team gets together, and Jake's on there quite frequently as well. So it's been a long time coming, and it's good to have you on, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
And back by popular demand, we have Charlie from Weft and Panopticon. What's going on, brother?
Thanks for having me back. I'm excited to be here. Not gonna be breaking as many hearts today as I was last time.
Yeah, I'm still upset about your In Flames take.
Oh, the Jester race.
Yeah.
I'm a little salty about that one too.
But let me just say, like the ones that like Marty, I don't think my dad's ever been as disappointed in me as you were that night. It was incredible. I went back and I gave Somberlane, Jester Race, and a couple of like the really brutal takes that I had another shot. And we were driving through the Columbia River Gorge, listening to Jester Race, and I have a soft spot for it because remember the whole idea was albums that we know are great that we just have a hard time with. Yeah. So sorry. I mean, I still feel the way that I do about it. I've been listening to it for years and years and years.
I'm still a little confused because I listen to that thing. I just hear these sweeping, beautiful melodies. There's just an emotion to it, a flow to it, a pulse about it. There's just something about that record that I think the drummer isn't great. I think the drums on the album are a little flat. Yeah. But other than that, I think the music makes up perfectly for it. But I mean, again, to each, we all hear shit differently. So
yeah. Well, shall we?
Anyway, what about that Iron Maiden take too? Now we got you back. You're in the hot seat. Let's talk about Iron Maiden for a minute.
Okay. So this is just
this is the return trial here.
I was brought onto Metallurgy tonight under false auspices.
Oh, we're kidding. We love you, Charlie. And
love you guys too. And man, I just gotta say the community for Metallurgy is the best in the world. Like, I don't think that even you guys as YouTubers realize the impact that you collectively have when it comes to the people that watch your show, what they go home and listen to. I mean, in a weird way, I'm the right age that I grew up with like YouTubers who were into metal kind of paving the way for me. It's not like where I grew up, I really had like that many amazing record stores to go to dive into and find all of this stuff. So I went to YouTube a lot to like learn and discover new music. And it's so cool to be here and with you guys who continue that tradition forward and expose so many people to so much amazing music. It's just awesome. I love it. I love the YouTube metal community.
It's really cool, man. Misery loves company, trying to turn, I'm collector scum and trying to share that gene with other people. It's
it's a good disease.
It's a good disease to have. Mm-hmm. Well, Jake came up with the idea of talking about albums that we love, but maybe don't listen too much anymore. And Charlie agreed with that, and I'm up for anything. And it was an easy pull tonight, so definitely we need that because Alan, he plans ahead. He gets them all booked up, lined up, topics, listened, all of his homework done in time. Procrastination is the mother of invention in this house, and that's just the way it rolls. But we always get the job done, don't we, metallurgists? We always get the job done. But yeah, Jake, good choice, and got me to thinking this week. Why is it these albums that we love so much, why don't we return to them that often? We'll start with you since it's your topic.
Yeah, so I'll go through a variety of reasons, on my take on this topic throughout the night, but I'll jump right into it with probably the first album that comes to mind in this topic. An album that I love that I just don't grab off the shelf very often, and that's Bell Witch's Mirror Reaper. And yeah, just the length, the emotional heaviness of the album, just it requires an 80-minute focused sitting while you're in the right emotional headspace. Now it's honestly a band that I rather take in live. I've seen them live 3 times, and to me, that's the peak experience for Bell Witch, is to be there live in the crowd, experiencing it there in person. Yeah, still, an amazing album when you're in the right headspace for it, to sit down and get enveloped by their take on Funeral Doom. It's just, yeah, you got to be ready to feel some things with it. And yeah,
I feel sleepiness when I listen.
Everybody knows that album cover, though. That's a
iconic
album cover.
Yeah. Right on. How about you, Charlie? What do you think? What do you think about the whole? Why don't we go back to stuff that we love so much?
Well, I think kind of like Jake is saying here, there's a myriad of reasons that it's hard to go back to some records. It could be personal reasons, like you were in a certain place or at a certain time in your life when you got into that band or got into that record. Like we all have those records, right, that remind us of a shitty time. But it's really fun going back to those records on some occasions and feeling how you've changed since you first got to know it. Like the record is the exact same record it ever was. You're the one who's changing, and that's what changes your relationship with a lot of these albums. But I still feel like with some of the records I pulled today, it's like, oh man, I just remember the time and place I was at when I heard them. Another thing is I think that there's a lot of metal records that, are just fun to listen to, where you can put them on anytime and you're having a great, great time. A lot of the Judas Priest records, I can put them on when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm sober, when I'm drunk, when I'm at the gym.
Yep.
When I'm anytime like that you want. But there's other records that are so solemn and actually self-serious and poignant that you have to be in a certain place to really get what you want out of it. And once you have that experience with the album, you're kind of like good for a while.
Yeah.
Because of like the Bell Witch record, it's not just that the songs are long and that they're, it's an attention span testing record. It's what you feel because of the context of the album, the poignancy of it. And you don't need to go to that place every so often. Like once in a while is good enough. So I think, whether it's an emotional reason or if there's just a record that's fucking chaotic and crazy and you're like, man, that was wild, but I really don't need that again. I don't know. There's like a potency with some of the records I chose today. And there's also the records that we've just listened to too many times. Right. And it's like no break is long enough to have the reset to kind of get back into it. So I've definitely got some picks tonight that I realize my whole stack is visible. I'm going to move it so I'm not spoiling my
the
next
suspense
pick.
is ruined. You pull one, we're like,
Well, there's a record, for example, since Jake showed one, I'll show this one. I'm not going to move it because I want to hide what's behind it. But yeah, The Unreal Never Lived by Yob. That was the Yob record that got me into Yob. I've listened to it front to back at least, 200, 300 times. And it's an immaculate record to me. It's perfect. I love it. But I almost know it too well now. And so whenever I go back to it, it's like I still hear it the same way that I did the last time I heard it. And yeah, I don't know. So yeah, long-winded answer.
No,
but
that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're here to talk.
I'm gonna kill my camera and like move this now, so I'm not spoiling everything.
We'll provide a good balance.
We'll create a diversion.
Look over there.
So for me, this topic got me thinking, because when you're younger, you have a smaller collection. You can burn through your records a lot. You spend a lot more a lot more hands-on time with said records. Even if you don't like a record, sometimes you change your mind. And yeah, I agree with both of you guys. You're at a certain place in your life when you connect with some records, and then 20 years later, when you go back to it, maybe it brings back weird memories, or that's part of it. But I also think that some albums just have an expiration date, not just because they become outdated. It's just that you've heard it. Like you said, you've heard it too much. There's, about a quarter to half of my collection. I can pull out the CD, look at it, and just look at the cover and know every single note, every song, every lyric. I've air guitared, I've air drummed, I've sang along in the shower with these records forever. And it feels like I pull it off the shelf and look at it, and I get the whole experience just by looking at it and like put it back. Okay. I'm good knowing that you're here. I'm good knowing you're here. And I've got a few records like that in the pile tonight, but nothing super, super personal. But yeah, I just think records. Oh, and then another thing is being a collector. You're always going for the shiny. You're going through the new shiny object, and new, and I'm going to be listening to power metal this week. So you buy a bunch of power metal records, and you may not be listening to the Blind Guardians and the Halloweens and all that other stuff. You're listening to this other stuff you bought. Eventually, you'll get back around to the classics, hopefully, but you're always kind of moving forward, especially, it's just the new exciting thing, the dopamine hit when the new records are sitting outside your door. So you want to listen to the new shit. But I guess I'll get started off with an album that I love, and I just find myself not listening to it really much anymore. Epicus Dumicus Metallicus, Candlemass. Bought this for $6.99. Tag's still on it. Black Dragon pressing, used in a record store somewhere downstate. I got this later. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nightfall was my first Candlemass record, and that to me is the definitive be all end all Candlemass record. I really love this record. It's great. I spent a lot of time with it. I know the songs inside and out. Love the way it sounds. Feels a little underground in a way. It's not exactly perfect, but it's really good. I like the fact that it's not perfect. Nightfall to me is perfect, and I really love the emotion on it. A song about a guy whose son died, and I have to skip it when I listen to that because I cry every single time. There's albums like that are so embedded in emotion, I tend to gravitate towards a bit more. This here is an amazing record. Don't get me wrong. We're not talking about records that we hate tonight, everybody. It's just why we haven't listened to it and justify reasons why we don't listen to them. But yeah, Nightfall's my go-to Candlemass record when I'm in the mood for Candlemass. I also like 13th Sun.
Yeah, the 90s one.
Yeah. It's really weird, but it's awesome. Awesome record. And of course, Ancient Dreams. Tales of Creation. What a great record. Nobody talks about that one. It's great. It's a great record. So yeah, I find myself gravitating towards the Messiah chunk, and then the one with the different singer later on. But Candlemass will be my first pull for the night. Love the record. Don't get me wrong. If we put it on right now, I'd be psyched, but it's never the first choice. All right. We broke the seal, gentlemen. Let's keep on rolling here. Jake.
All right. These guys already got mentioned in the chat. This is an album probably everybody watching knows in their heart. Like, it's embedded in them. this and the previous one, Master of Puppets and Ride the Lightning. It's like we've all heard this so many times. It's just embedded into us.
It's my teenage years. Those are my teen. That band is so important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'll go years without spinning them. And then the second I put them on, I'm like, holy shit, this is like one of the greatest things ever. Why don't I listen to it more? And then I put it away, and it's, another 2 years before I pull it out and have the same reaction. Like the way these guys were writing their songs back there, it was unlike any other band in the, in the scene. The longer form, I don't even know how to describe it. Almost more like there's a more epic nature to it than their fellow thrash mates. Metallica is like another one of the like epitomes of this topic. Like their music is just so amazing, but how often do we actually pull it off the shelf and listen to it? But we all just know it. Like before even throwing it on, we know what it is.
Yeah.
And then once you put it on, you're like, holy shit, it's even better than I remember it.
Yeah.
At least that's my experience.
I've had thankfully a nice renaissance with the first four Metallica records, for the simple fact that my son is into them now. So
I go first 5 with them, but I wouldn't say I love more than the middle 3 of those 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ride the Lightning's my all-timer Metallica record. Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All. And then I had a CD of Load as a kid because it's like I've probably listened to that more than any other Metallica record. It's not my favorite, but yeah, Metallica's a hard one because
Load is actually the only other Metallica album I own, because it's like I just pick them up. I've just picked them up when I've seen them in a clearance bin, because it's like they're always going to be there. So I've never went out of my way to find Metallica albums.
Yeah,
Load was one I got early on, like probably found it at like a thrift store.
Yeah, you can go to Walmart right now and get it for $5.
Yeah, Ride the Lightning I saw last time I was at Walmart. I almost grabbed it because it was $5, but I was like, no, it was around Christmas time.
Yeah, it's one of those. Myself, TJ is in the chat. Glorious Dead and Parker went last year. TJ, was it last year? 2 years ago, went to a record show, and Parker bought with his own money Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets on vinyl. We get home that night. I'm sitting in front of the TV, and all of a sudden, Master of Puppets comes blaring through the wall, and I'm just like, "Cats in the cradle in the silver spoon." I was like, oh my God.
I got to correct myself real quick, though. I actually have 3 albums of Metallica and 5, actual physical copies. I have 3 copies of Hardwired.
Oof.
They were free with the tickets that me and 2 of my buddies went and saw Metallica, and it's like each ticket you get a free copy, and I was the one that bought the tickets. They paid me back, and I just grabbed the copy.
You get a Hardwired. You get a Hardwired. You get a Hardwired.
Yeah. So don't be surprised if people get a couple of those from VCLTs.
It's not a bad album. If they were to cull some of the garbage on it, there'd have been maybe almost a full CD of good songs on that record. It's got some moments on it.
it's not the worst.
It's not the worst. That's for sure. All right, Charlie.
So, kind of great pick, Metallica, going into my next choice. And it's funny, I have this record on vinyl, but my ass was too lazy to go back up and get it. So we're bringing it to y'all on CD. Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance.
Kid loves that one too. I love it.
Absolutely quintessential banger of an album. And anybody who says otherwise is a liar and a fool. But this has to do with a lot with my recent kind of rediscovery of the Judas Priest discography. And I think of all of the big classic heavy metal bands, Sabbath, Maiden, Metallica, like everybody that's in that caliber. I think that Judas Priest is actually the band that is understood the least, that is the least recognized for all of the great albums that they have in their back catalog. I don't think that as many people have gone through and really done a full deep dive like they have with Metallica, like they have with Sabbath. I don't believe it, you know? And for that reason, whenever I want to go and listen to Judas Priest, yeah, this is one of the first records that comes to mind that I think of, because I just have so many great memories and moments with it. But I know that there's so much more in their discography and in their catalog to appreciate. And I find myself going back to, like, today I was cleaning the house and listening to Sin After Sin, and it was just
It's my favorite
fucking
Priest
amazing.
album. I love it.
But like,
I love Bluesy Halford. Bluesy Halford's the best.
But yeah, and like Stained Class and Sad Wings of Destiny and Defenders of the Faith and on and on and on, and even the more recent stuff. Like, I know that Nostradamus is a turd, but when you listen to it, it doesn't sound like you're listening to a turd when you're listening to it. I don't know how to describe it.
It's long and boring, but it's not a turd.
Yeah, and
I really like Nostradamus.
So I'm just enjoying finding all of those little crevices in the Priest discography. Painkiller, Firepower. Like, these are all albums that could be the best record of any discography. And so, yeah, I know that Screaming for Vengeance is like the cream of the crop in a lot of ways, but the other records just have so much depth that I've been going and listening to Priest a lot, and it's not this record for whatever reason. It's an incredible record. I mean, flawless. I feel like it's even silly to try to call out names of songs on this album because we all know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Judas Priest, what a band. That's my pick.
I gotta say, you mentioned Firepower, and it's almost unfair the era that record came out in, because it's a really good Priest record. Yeah. If that thing came out after Painkiller, I think it would be right up there and on everybody's top of the list of the Judas Priest list. It's just, it come out in a time where everybody is so short attention span, Yeah. People aren't watching shit anymore. They're watching reels. I mean, I do the same thing. I flip. 30-second reel, I can't even finish it. My attention span is so shot, I can't even finish the damn. Or I'll start watching a video, like a music video, and I get the gist of it. I'm like, okay, I move on to the next thing. It's like, these legacy bands are putting out these records that are really good, but they're just not going to have the same impact ever as, Screaming for Vengeance, Defenders of the Faith. It's not as good as those classics, but it's really good. They really did a great job. Old dudes putting out relevant Judas Priest records right now. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible. And I mean, it's like this, there's all of these bands that are having this late era renaissance.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to just gloss over it and take it for granted. And I think that's another thing when I feel like with these legacy bands that are still going and that are putting out great material now, it's like you probably feel the same way. I don't know if you got Halloween in your list tonight, but
no, they're in pretty regular rotation in these parts.
But it's the kind of thing where it's like when I go to Halloween, like I'm surprised at how much I'm going to the new material, to the new 2 records. It's like
they're good. Yeah,
they're great. They're awesome.
The Darius era is all great too. People poo-poo it because it's not Kiska. They're great records. There's some great records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love Invincible Shield too. I think Invincible Shield's a great album.
It's long, but it's really good. Again, they did it. They knew what to do.
I like that one.
Yeah. All right. Next one. I was thinking about this one today too. And so the night, no, wait. Yeah. This is And So the Night Became by Eternis. I love this record. This record is amazing. The only problem is it's not Beyond the Wandering Moon, which is one of my favorite records. And this is maybe a little bit more complex than Beyond the Wandering Moon. I don't know why. I like it equally. It's just that the more emotional impact on Beyond the Wandering Moon. So this is one of those records that's sadly overlooked because of what came before it. And this was their last really good album for a long time. They're putting out good stuff again, but they went kind of crappy, boring death metal, American style death metal after this record. And they lost that emotive, atmospheric feel that made their EP and their mini CD and 2 full lengths so special. So this is one of those records that I need to spend more time with. I used to listen to it a lot more than I do now, which is never, because I always go to the other one.
Fair enough.
Eternis.
They were great when they were a black metal band.
We're never a black metal band. I know. I lost the poll. Everybody gives me shit. I've never seen this band as a black metal band. Sorry. They're just not. Dark metal I can get behind, but anyway, we're not gonna go there, Jake.
Now time for a take that might alienate some viewers for me. This is actually my all-time favorite album from, the genre, but it's just not a genre that I crave very often, that I get the itch for. And when I do come around to getting that itch, this is typically the first album I'll pull, but it's just comes so rarely that I want to listen to death metal. But I put it on and just rips my head off. And it's
crushing.
everything, it's everything I want from a death metal album. So I play it once and then I've got my fill of death metal for, the next while. It's just so freaking good. The vocals, so killer. Even I saw him live on I don't remember what anniversary, probably like 25th anniversary, something. But it was with the newer vocalist with the long hair. And even seeing him perform it live was killer. The drumming.
So you actually saw Lord Worm perform it?
I don't think it wasn't Worm. No.
Oh, okay.
It was the younger guy with the
long straight hair. Yeah.
Straight blonde hair. I think it was blonde. But Jeff had him on his channel not too long ago. I can't remember his name. But just a crushing album. And it, perfect length for a death metal album for me. It's like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't like long albums when it comes to death metal as the genre. I want it to get in, just do its job, and kick my head in and call it a day. Then I can go back to my regular listening habits.
Always respected them, and I got those albums, but I just never fully connected with them. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, they're impressive as shit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the reason is. I have them. I'll never get rid of them, but I never listened to them.
I think I got their self-titled, their 2012 record, and that was like my gateway into them. Weirdly enough.
None So Vinyl is the only one I have. I want to get the one prior to it, but even if I got that one, I think None So Vile would still be the one I pulled every time.
What's the name of that one? Blasphemy Made Flesh? Is that the?
Yeah, Blasphemy's Made Flesh.
Yeah. Right on. I think my jumping off point was And Then You'll Beg with Mike DeSalvo. I interviewed him back in the day for Maniacs, I think. And I liked it, but I didn't like it as I liked it, I think, more at the time than the Lord Worm era, but going back again, I realized how crazy that sounds because it's not as good. It's not as good. I saw them like 3 or 4 times during that whole touring cycle too. So that's another reason. Seeing it live was pretty impressive. They're a good band. Good band.
Lord Worm's vocals are just, insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. It's the Worms. Anyway, Charlie.
Oh man, me again. Okay, well, this is actually going to be my chance to talk about a band that I really love. And funny enough, like recently I've been trying to kind of get back into them because I know that they are awesome. But this is a genre that I generally have trouble with, and that is the realm of kind of funeral doom. So the band that I would like to talk about, shout them out because I love them and I think that they're absolutely amazing. It's Mournful Congregation. Got a bunch of their records. This band fucking rules.
I'm with you. I'm in the same boat.
That was that was one of my pulls as well.
Well, feel free to chime in. But yeah, this is Judas Frost. Great album. Other great records. I like this one. I know this one's controversial, but I think it's great. Book of Kings. I've also got the Unspoken Hymns, which I think is like a collection of early material. Is that right? And then, yeah, Tears from a Grieving Heart. So I've got a lot of Mournful Congregation on deck, and I do absolutely adore them.
Have you listened to the Incubus of Karma?
Is that the new one that
That's
was like
2018 full length.
They
have a couple, I think, EPs after that, but that was
they have like the split up EPs on $20 spin or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think everybody knows that this band is phenomenal, but I also feel like none of us listen to them enough. And I'm actively right now trying to amend that. I'm trying to fix that, kind of go back with the ones that I have here on CD and listen to them more. But again, Funeral Doom it's one of those things where I don't need to listen to it all the time. And when I'm in a mood for it, I never know what to reach for. And yeah, of all of these, I mean, the one that I connect with the most is June Frost.
Me too.
Just an incredible record.
Yeah.
Incredible record.
It's my favorite.
Funeral Doom is low on my list of spins. It just is. And when I'm into it, I love it, but I just never am there for it. I'd rather listen. I don't know.
I don't think there is more than a handful of regular Funeral Doom listeners that's their, go-to spin.
Yeah.
That'd be a, sad state of affairs to be living in that.
Yeah, but I mean, with that band, I think they nailed the aesthetic. I think they nail the kind of ethereal nature of the lyrics. The performances are spirited. There's, like Marty's saying in the chat, there's a lot of heavy metal energy, but mixed in with, like, it's got that levity with the brutal sorrow and weight that makes it engaging and interesting to listen to beyond just a curiosity. Like, I recognize fully that they're an absolutely amazing band, but I don't reach for them as often as I should. Damn it.
Yeah. I think them and Evoken are probably like the two most like frequently listenable Funeral Doom bands.
Evoken does show up on my turntable, not regularly, but probably the most out of that whole style. Yeah. All right. Well, it breaks my heart to show this one because, man, when this came out, I worshipped at the altar of this record, and I still look at it today and I'm very fond of it. That would be As the Flower Withers by My Dying Bride. Speaking of, it's going to be Doom. I want my Doom, Death Doom. It just, we talked about Mournful Congregation, Evoken. They fit the bill here, but this, they're part of the Peaceful 3. I was way into this when this thing came out. This and the EP. Again, another band that was fantastic with a kind of a bland drummer. Got the job done, but just, I don't know if it's just the way the drums were produced on this record, just really flat, plunky sounding. But you mix the fiddle in with these crushing, just powerful progressions, and Aaron's voice was just absolutely one of the best when it came to the death growl. I was pissed when he started on Turn Loose the Swans, when he started singing. I kind of saw the writing on the wall. That album still rules. It took me a minute to get over the clean vocals. I'm like, okay, I get what he's doing here. Angel in the Dark River. Nope. Angry. I was angry. Because like I said, this guy, this whole band was quite frequent. And this was back in the day. I got this. It was a $25 CD, getting the imports from overseas, before the internet. So it's, you spend $25, $30 on a CD, you're going to listen to it. And thankfully I loved it. I can't get over how just foreboding and mean and crushing his vocals were. And those soulful, mournful harmony guitar lines are just beautiful, amazing. They walk the line quite well between death metal and something a lot more emotional. So
why don't you reach for it though?
Because I know it so much, and there's always other stuff to spin,
to pretend.
Yeah. But exactly, to pretend. But it's a classic, and I love it, and I'll probably listen to it soon because it has to happen. And there's going to be something very similar here in my next pick. All right, Jake.
All right. Well, we're on the topic of Doom. Probably my all-time favorite Doom, like within any of the Doom subgenres, is Swallow the Sun. But this is the hardest one to revisit regularly, just due to this sheer mass of it. You know, it's a triple album, clocking in at like over 2.5 hours.
Wow.
It's a long ass album.
Yeah, when I revisit it, most of the time it's in single parts out of the three. But to sit down and listen to the entire thing at length,
That's a lot of woe to dwell in for a long period of time. Yeah.
I did the deep dive on these guys over on gas masks and hand grenades last year sometime, and the first time I'd listened to this in its entirety in a long time and have not done it since. Is just a massive undertaking. Luckily, you know, each of the parts kind of switches their style. The first part is in their more traditional death doom signature sound, and then they transition into like the more acoustic-y, folky second part, and then the third part is straight up funeral doom. And if it was just a funeral doom album by itself, that would be one of the all-time great funeral doom albums. It's so crushing. It was the first time I actually sat and read the lyrics, and I don't know if I can ever do that again.
Yeah.
There's a song called 7 Hours Late, and that song just crushed me and had me, you know, wanting to curl up in the ball and cry myself to sleep. But yes, this album is incredible. But when I go for Swallow the Sun, I'm probably going for New Moon over this 19 times out of 20.
Yeah, that's a great example of those records. And just there's a lot of records of theirs that are so heavy, like emotionally heavy, that like going there frequently is really hard when the music is that earnest.
That deep dive we did, that was a tough undertaking to just dive through their whole catalog. I'm like, I can't handle this amount of despair.
Speaking of deep dives, we're doing Paradise Lost next week with Albert from Decibel and David Gelke, author of the Paradise Lost book. So
that's awesome.
It's a lot, 17 albums. So I'm about halfway through it. So we're getting there, plugging along.
Oh, you're getting lost, all right.
Yep. All right, Charlie.
Well, I'm seeing all the memes about it, seeing all the shit talkers shit talking about it. Might as well give the people what they fucking want.
That's right.
So here we go. And yeah, I feel like for the next 2 hours, we're all going to be like, well, we're here on the topic of funeral doom.
Yep.
Well, all right, everybody. What needs to be said about Turn Loose the Swans? I love this album. This album is the reason that I do what I do. I mean, there's no violin player in metal that can say with a good conscience that this record didn't play a part in paving the way for us. There's a lot on here that's kind of like the blueprint, the textbook, the OG on a lot of what we do. And
violin
in a metal context.
Yep.
That's more than just like
they kind of were the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, yeah. Exactly. It's the way that I feel about it is that they're one of the first bands that played strings in a metal band, but it wasn't just like having a quartet or having this violinist over here that's playing classical stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. It really felt like a real integration into metal, like being a metal instrument in a metal band. And for that, I always have to nod, you know, to this record and tip my hat to them as a band. And I mean, I listened to this thing so much as a kid. And then, you know, I got it on vinyl a couple years back, and I think I've spun the record twice. And it's just one of those things that, I don't know. I don't go back to it. I don't revisit it. I don't think it's boring. I don't think that a lot of people that don't like this record, I see why. I disagree with them, and that's not why I don't listen to it. I don't know. This is one of those where I don't know why. It's like, but it's an all-time classic for me. I do love it.
It is. I love it too. I remember being a little suspicious when the clean vocals entered. I'm like, wait a minute, I see what's going on here. You guys are sliding this in. There's gonna be next album's gonna be more, and next album there was no death vocals. Why have the best part of the band be part of the album? I don't just take that away too and just write a boring ass whiny anyway.
And a funny thing about this band is that when I first started playing live with Panopticon, I felt really insecure because I was just playing violin at the time, not doing like synths. Now I kind of have like a full-time job, I feel like, but it was part-time at first.
Right.
And so I wouldn't be playing for like 60 to 70% of the set. And I got really like
windmill propeller head banging.
Well, see, and that was the thing, is that the guys sat me down. They're like, look, just fucking headbang like your life depends on it. And we went like, we're at a bar somewhere watching a My Dying Bride live DVD on someone's phone in the middle of a bar, just be like, look at him rock out. And so then
you do that.
So I literally try to be that guy when I play live.
Yeah.
It's a funny little story, but
right on. Oh, it's my turn. No, is it my turn again? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
We're going through quick. All right. Well, let's just get this done here. Let's get the Peaceville 3. Anathema, Serenades. Love this record. Love it from start to finish. I like the gothic overtones, the straight up gothic nod of appreciation, the classical lady singing on here, all of it. I think it's a great emotional, again, Darren White, vocalist, crushing killer death metal voice. As this band went, they started to lose me. Not gonna lie. I know so many people like Eternity, and I can't even, the one with the astronaut on the cover, and
fuck, I listened to that one.
I can't remember the name of it.
It's like Anonymous something for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They started to get me back again. Was it Judgment was the name of it? That era in there, they really kind of started to nail, kind of like Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost went on this tangent, kind of Depeche Mode, synth poppy type of style. Anathema was a little bit more rock mixed with Pink Floyd. I saw them a couple times at a couple Milwaukee Metal Fests, and they were fantastic live. In fact, they even covered Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd, and they absolutely crushed it. It was perfect. So there's a middle era of this band that I'm a little disappointed by, and I even like their more Beatles-esque ending as well. But anyway, this record here is another classic that I worshipped. I absolutely loved this record. And again, I pick it up, I look at it, and it's like your life flashes before your eyes. The whole album flashes before my eyes, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. I just experienced it again from old dying memories. Like when the brain cell dies, it releases the information. That's basically what happens every time I hold these CDs. I'm like, oh, there it is. Okay. So, yeah, this is another one. I love it. Put it on right now. I'd love it, but it just doesn't hit the stereo very often. Jake.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't pull a Paradise Lost to,
Alternative 4. Thanks, Devin. Sorry, Jake. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
I didn't pull a Paradise Lost album to, complete the trilogy here. But I was saving this one for later, but Lady Metal mentioned it in the chat during my last pick. Trees of Eternity with Hour of the Nightingale. This is Yuha from Swallow the Sun and his then partner Alea Starbridge. It does actually have Nick Holmes on it, so that kind of does complete the trilogy. The 3. He's featured on the last track. But yeah, those that don't know, Alea passed away shortly after they made this album together, and that adds an extra layer to the weight of the sadness on this album. The her voice is just like hauntingly beautiful. It's the kind of like haunting beauty that can just bring you to tears. The power of her voice. Just an amazing album. And then the track Condemned to Silence also features Mick Moss of Antimatter. I don't know if any of you guys know that band, but one of my favorite vocalists as well with him, and that track is awesome. But I tend to grab Alea's solo material that was put out posthumously more because it doesn't have the same weight of, you know, sadness tied to it. So I find that one more re-listenable to more often. But yeah, this is an all-timer album right here.
Yeah. Ooh, that one's heavy.
Yeah.
All right. So it's like the video equivalent of watching Old Yeller.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But the dog was real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
All right. You're up, sir.
Oh, well, while we're on the topic of funeral doom. No, I'm kidding. I don't think I have any more funeral doom. Let me pull us out of the funeral doom rut of sadness and back into the realm of death metal. This is an absolutely incredible banger of a record, but I don't listen to it that often, and there's no excuse. This is one of those where it's like, all right, I need to just lock in and give it a bunch of spins.
That's a great record.
Gorement.
Yeah.
Wow. Just incredible. The ending quest. I finally got this on vinyl a couple years back.
Yep.
Been wanting a copy of it. Love this moody, sassy stuff on the back. It oozes such a great, unique vibe. And there's a Paradise Lost shirt on the back cover. So I think we've got it covered now. But I don't know what it is about this record. I associate it with like the same time frame that I really got into like ophthalmia, pandemonium, and all that weird kind of stuff. And this isn't one of those weird, hard to categorize records, but it has that same spirit and air and association for me. And I have to be in such a specific mood to go there that I have to be in a very specific mood to listen to this for whatever reason. Brilliant record. I mean, if y'all have not heard this, Gorement needs to be something that you spin after this tonight. I mean,
it's funny. I had two of their 7 inches, and when Tanner was here, he was freaking out about them, so I gave them to him, and kind of regret it sometimes because they were pretty killer 7 inches. But I think they're on that record or on something else that they put out. So it's a great band, kind of an overlooked band, which is sad. But,
so maybe this will win some new fans over. But yeah, y'all go check it out. Gorement. The Ending Quest. I'm sure a lot of y'all know it already. But
awesome Swedish death metal.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Last time I showed this on here, I said I'm going to listen to that this weekend. Well, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to listen to it this weekend because when this came out, I could not stop listening to it. I loved it. I look at it. I still love it. I think I maybe burned myself out on it back in the day, but Ceremony of Opposites, Samael. Whenever I'm going to listen to this band, it's Blood Ritual. That album to me is pure evil. The song with the baby crying and kind of, there's like this dark, evil, satanic ritual vibe to that record. This here is more symphonic. It's still super dark, super symphonic. I love this album. It's great. It's the kind of that cross where old style black metal, it still has kind of a deathly vibe to it. I don't know. It's just, they're a weird in-between band. Then after that, the drummer decided, hey guys, I'm going to stop playing drums and program drums, which is dumb idea. Why? I'm going to play percussion live. Well, I'm sure it worked out for him because he's still doing it. But this era of the band is fantastic. And their last truly great record in my eyes, Passage was decent in spite of, I do like drum machine. I like industrial and electronic music, but I wanted this band. I wanted another one of these next, but yep, this is a classic. I love it to death, and there's no excuse. It's going in this pile right here to listen to this weekend pile. So
I can listen to that album every day of the week.
It's amazing. It's absolutely perfect.
I love that album, and the fact that there's not other albums that sound similar to it out there brings me back to it more often, because it's got that very specific sound that you can only find there with Ceremony of Opposites.
Yep.
I probably listen to that album at least once a month.
There's no band that has this vibe. What happened after this? Dimmu Borgir. I mean, kind of a similar type of symphonic, more Norwegian sounding, but this here is its own thing. It just doesn't have a geographic sound to it like the Norwegian bands, or it's just its own thing. And like I said, the album before it, that's the one I always reach for, because it's so fucking evil. So evil.
And it's amazing how each of those records in that era, like even Worship Him, is like, they all just don't sound like anything else. They all sound like Samael, but at the end of the day, somehow. But God, that's a good record. Yeah,
it's
I
a great
haven't listened
record
to that in a while.
Yeah. All right, Jake is back.
All right, let's snap out of all my sad picks and go with something a little bit different. Insomnium, Winter's Gate. I played this, I think, yesterday, preparing for this, and my God, it's an amazing album.
I've kind of lost touch with that band. Is that a newish one?
2018?
Yeah, I think 2018 sounds right. But in my head, I always remember it being longer than it is, because it's a single track album, similar to the Mirror Reaper by a Bell Witch. So it kind of associates to that in my brain. I'm like, I love that album, but that sounds like a chore to go through that long of a song. But really, and the other kind of thing that holds us back from getting more frequent spins is just the consistency of Insomnium. They've got an 8 or 9 album catalog, and probably the most consistent mellow death band out there. It's like there's not a dud in their catalog, and the 4 album span between this, one from Sorrow, and then Shadows of the Dying Sun, this one, and now I'm blanking on the follow-up, but all 4 of those albums, depending on which one I listened to most recently, I would say is my favorite Insomnium album. So all those 4 together just makes it hard to, return to a single one over and over. It's like I'll just alternate between the 4. And this one being the single song album ends up being the least returned to of all of them. But just an incredible mellow death band. That Finnish style, I think they do it better than any of their country mates. And the only band I would say in mellow death that's more consistent than them, I know some people would disagree, but Dark Tranquillity, my favorite metal band of all time. I can't not choose them as the best, but Insomnium's right the next band up.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, I get what you mean. It's like so hard to choose what to go to with them, because you could just throw a dart and hit any one of their albums and be like, yep, this is gonna rule. So
right. All right, Charlie.
All right. Well, I'm glad that I did ruffle someone's feathers at 4 a.m. in Germany. That's cool. Let's see if I get him with this next one. What's the most? Well, let's see. So, okay, here we go. This one's a feather ruffler. And don't get me wrong. Do not shoot me. I love this fucking album.
That's the thing. We love these records we're showing tonight, people. We love them. We just don't listen to them.
I love that Gorement record, where I lost his name in the chat, but I love that record. I love this band so much. Like, it's not even funny. But this is the album of theirs that I listen to the least, and that is 1184 by Windir. Wander, I hardly even know her. But
I've got a Windir in my stack too, but yeah.
That's my favorite Windir right there.
And in a lot of ways, it is the best. You know, this
It's
album,
wrong. The only right answer is Arntor. That is the
Arntor
best,
is my
the best.
favorite, and I think it's their best. But a lot
That
of
is
people,
such a special fucking record.
Yeah.
So good. Anyway,
it's fucking perfect. But this record is one that I think a lot of people would say is their high achievement. This is their kind of watermark. And in a lot of ways, I really agree with that. This is a really untouchable record. The production is so clean. The performances are very spirited. The songwriting is very well developed. It flows beautifully. The synthesizers are really well integrated in a way that's not intrusive to the rest of the material. Like, there's so much that I could go on and on about how this is a flawless record. But I don't ever go spin it, because the record that came before it, Arntor, is just as spirited, and it has this magic to it that they weren't able to replicate on that record for me. Also, I listened to the first and the last record more. I think the last record is really lost in the conversation sometimes. There's a lot going on there that I think reveals itself. It's not as immediate as the other records. And the first one has this youthful, boyish charm to it that just sounds so fun. It's like I can see the music video that they made on VHS for the album every time I listen to it. But 1184. I don't know. I just don't. It's not the one I go to, and I need to go back to it more.
I don't know if I even listened to it enough when it came out to be familiar with it. And it's not because I didn't like it. I just can't get past Arntor. I love that record so much.
Arntor is just, I mean, I think maybe the best black metal riff of all time is on that record. So,
all right. Another one I burnt out on pretty hard. I listened to this a lot. Interviewed the Dan back in the day on the phone. Nicest guy ever. Crimson, Edge of Sanity. This is a fantastic record. Absolutely fantastic. And it's funny. This is supposed to be one long song, but I actually own it on vinyl. How's that work? But of course, if you've never heard this record before, it's set up in movements or scenes, I guess. So, I mean, there are parts that come and go that it feels like a change in the song. But basically, Dan Swano taking the reins of Edge of Sanity and saying, I have a vision. I'm going to see this vision through to the end. Locks himself in a studio and writes an amazing 45-minute long song that is the true essence of melodic Swedish death metal and Edge of Sanity. Those amazing death vocals. Amazing prog fueled guitar melody lines. It's just an exciting song. It's an interesting concept album. There's a good story behind it. I don't remember it off the top of my head because it's been so long since I've spun it, but it was cool. I just love Edge of Sanity up to a certain point. After this album, things kind of start to go awry a bit. That Infernal record's not good.
Crimson 2.
Crimson 2 is pretty good. It's pretty good. Michael Ackerfeld from Opeth does there's at one point Dan's like, I'm done doing grim vocals. I'm done. I'm not doing them anymore. So he had Michael come in and do the death vocals on there. But obviously Dan went back to doing death vocals. He did the Moon Tower stuff. He did the Winterscape. Yeah.
Yes, Witherscape. Yeah.
That shit rules. It's like his version of Opeth, and it crushes. His voice is so fucking brutal on him. So good.
Witherscape is unfuckwithable.
Yeah. The second album in particular is so damn good. But
yeah.
Crimson is an amazing album. I just listen to this a lot. It's another one of those I can pull off the shelf and look at it and say, yeah, I know it. I'm good. Spectral Sorrows is the one that usually hits my player these days, and Unorthodox was the first Edge of Sanity I ever heard. So that's always kind of a special moment. But Crimson, Edge of Sanity, great album. Not played as much as it should be. Criminally,
they're kind of like Judas Priest for me. I think that a lot of people don't go far enough into their discography.
Yeah,
they're a band I still need to really dive into.
Yeah, they're amazing.
You won't be disappointed for most of it. There's the last one. I can't remember the name of it. It's Roban. I can't remember his name. Different singer. It's very average. Not terrible, but just average. So
I think they're doing like a huge reissue campaign of their entire back catalog on Century Media right now. So
the Moon Tower stuff just came out too. The last one was called Cryptic. Cryptic came out before Crimson 2. Cryptic had Roban Carlson on vocals. All right, Jacob, you're back.
Okay, this is a band I never really see get talked about, especially on like YouTube by people in person. But I hear a lot of artists from the scene mention them as like one of their favorite bands that influence them in the Cascadian black metal scene. That's Fauna. This is Avi Fauna. Amazing album, but it's very very ritualistic, very tons of ambient parts to it, and it's very much a album that you have to be in the right setting to really enjoy. It takes an involved, focused listen. You can't really be doing anything else. To me, like the ideal setting to listen to Fauna would be, out in the wilderness by yourself, maybe sitting around the campfire.
Naked. Sitting naked.
Nobody else is there.
Crisscross applesauce.
But yeah. Actually, I only learned about Fauna originally from Austin, from Panopticon. I think it was a Metallurgy stream. He brought them up as mentioned they toured with him over in Europe.
He's played live drums for him too.
Yeah,
Fauna.
I think he was touring with them, but he wasn't playing with them at the time. And
I don't think he was playing with them at the time then, but he has recently. This last year, he did a show with them.
Yeah, he said he'd go out. That was like the only band he's toured with. That every night he'd go out and make sure that he was, watching their set because he enjoyed it so much. And I'm like, if he thinks that highly of these guys, I got to check it out. And that's how I came around to Fauna. And since then, I see most of the Cascadian black metal bands mention them as like an
influence.
And like
sure.
one of the originators to the sound.
Yeah.
But, amazing black metal album. Just have to be in the right mood for it.
Yeah, definitely. It takes you somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Charlie, you're back.
Oh, me? Well, while we're on the topic of funeral doom, no, I'm kidding. I'm going to stop making that joke. I'm going to go with a record that every time I look at it, I want it to be an atmospheric black metal record, but when I listen to it, I don't feel like it's an atmospheric black metal. This is some of the most scathing, intense, brutal, nasty, phenomenal, fucking incredible black metal ever put to tape. It is one of the best. The artwork is amazing. Everything is perfect. But this is a great example of one of those records where it's not because it's so like makes me so sad and I only need that every once in a while, but like it's so intense that I just feel completely pummeled by it every time I listen to it. 10 out of 10. Cythereal's Nord. What a banger of an album.
It's their best album. It's great.
Flawless and perfect. And I would actually put the record after it in the same category as well. Album cover on that one sucks.
What's the one after it? Is that Hell Eternal?
I think it
no, wait.
Is that the one with like the yellowish flames on it?
Yeah, and it's like the really low, like you try to get it on vinyl and it's low res.
Lords of the Night Realm.
Yeah.
Lords of the Night Realm. Yes. That album is absolutely incredible too. But this is truly a perfect album, an absolute experience, but I don't reach for it often because it's just as intense as it looks. You know, it's
like the guy in the lower right corner trying to, like, you know, clench his pecs up a little bit so they're looks a little tougher.
yeah,
That's evil.
that's what I look like in the shower too when I'm looking in the mirror, just trying to impress myself and failing miserably. Corpse paint and all, you know.
Yeah, you got to go in there. You
Yeah.
got to give a reason to wash it off, you know.
Yeah,
I don't need to hit the gym at all. Yeah, this is awesome.
Look at guys.
Ah!
I pulled something. I pulled my scepter. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, man, what a record. Again, these are all records that I love with all my heart. And if there's anybody that somehow hasn't heard these yet, highly recommend it, especially that one and the Gorement. Go home and listen to them. They should be a part of every collection.
All right. Well, let's talk about Opeth for a minute. This is I can't even remember the fucking name. Ghost Reveries. Crack case. Hate that. This album, why this album over the other classics? I don't know. There's something about this record that really hit a bit differently for me, even though it's, you know, the same formula. Opeth kind of landed on a formula, perfected said formula, and moved forward and put out good records in said formula. This record just had the songs for me. The Harlequin Forest is a favorite. I just love a lot of the emotion on here. The vocal melody lines are good when he's singing. His death vocals are completely great. He's such a great growler back in the day. I spent a lot of time with this. I was at a commercial printer, sweating my ass off through the summers, miserable doing government jobs, and this would just be on repeat. I'd put it on and listen to it half the day. And this is just one of those albums I connected with. And I couldn't tell you the last time I listened to Opeth. It's one of those bands that I just kind of had enough with. I'm kind of good with. And then, you know, Michael, when he made the shift on Heritage to be just a prog band, he did this press campaign. I bitched about this on here before, where he was like slamming metal. You know, like I outgrew that type of thing and blah, blah, blah. And he was mad because he'd go play shows as a prog band and the metalheads, his metal fans were like, do death growls. I can see how that's very annoying when you're trying to move on. Instead of saying, hey, give my throat a rest or hey, this or that. No, he decided to just get pissed and talk down on metal, which bugged me quite a bit. And I just kind of, at that point, I was already kind of burn out on Opeth, and after hearing that I was kind of just done with Opeth, to be completely honest. So completely petty, completely stupid, and now he's back doing the death growls again. So, you know, record sales must have shown that his little sidestep experiment wasn't as lucrative. It wasn't what the fans wanted. So negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement, however you want to say. But this is a side tangent, sorry, but that's part of the reason why I kind of stopped listening, like an actual reason attached to why I quit listening to Opeth. I just kind of, you know, Watershed was a good record, but I think the formula was starting to wear thin for me. It's really predictable. You could just kind of feel where the music was going to go. It was all beautiful and well done, perfectly sculpted. It just, the wow factor of it, just wasn't there anymore for me. And yeah, so that's that. Sorry, Opeth fans.
Yeah, Opeth is a band I have never been able to get into, despite having every reason to love, you know, the early period of Opeth. They're, you know, on paper, that's everything I should love about, you know, metal, but I just have never been able to connect to them. But on a different note, Primitive Man with Caustic.
Cool cover.
Yeah, this is the, you know, my go-to Primitive Man album. They're blending doom, black metal, grind, sludge all together into, you know, Caustic is really like the perfect album title for this. It's so just hateful and heavy and just I don't know how to describe it other than just pure hate with this album. It's an emotion that you know when you're in the mood for it, that you just feel that course through you, and then you know it's like, I'm good for a while. I don't need to pull this off the shelf for a long time. I got that out of my system. This one and the previous one I own more of them, but those two are really the only ones I feel like ever returning to. They're all good, but the first two are just so much better than the rest. And it's a band that I don't feel, fits that certain mood that I don't feel like I need to return to very often.
All right. Never heard them. Never heard them.
Yeah, it's an awesome band. Actually, like, I saw them live 4 or 5 years ago. No, probably more like 7 years ago. And up until last year, that was the heaviest show I've been to until I saw Dragged into Sunlight last year.
Oh.
Yeah. And, Dragged into Sunlight just slightly heavier than Primitive Man.
Brutal.
Yeah.
All right, Charlie.
Oh, back to me. I keep thinking it's going to go back to you, Marty. Let me go for a lighter pick this time. Here's an album that's an absolute blast. It's an absolute joy. And again, I don't really have a good reason for I don't go back to it. It is a very active and involved listen. So it takes a lot of, commitment and focus to really get the most out of it. This is a band
capable of focus.
Well, then meet your final boss. Sigh, Imaginary Sonescape. Again, this is such a blast. This is such an incredibly fun record. Everything about it, from the goofy, like, Microsoft Paint job of the layout, the band photo, the vibes are just on point. The band is on point. This is a really weird era for them, though. Even though it's got a lot of the traditional Japanese artwork on it, it doesn't seem like that's their focus, their aesthetic, either visually or sonically on this album. Whereas, you look at like Shiki, and a lot of the albums around this one sticks out for a lot of reasons. Again, not really the Sigh record that I go to first, but it is absolutely incredible for being what it is. I know that this is a favorite for a lot of people. And it's another one of those where I'm like, man, after this, I kind of want to put this back on the turntable and give it another shot, because it's just wonderful and fun. So I don't really have a good reason for it, other than it's kind of like watching a movie that really takes a lot of focus to understand. This is another album that's kind of like that. It exhausts my brain after listening to it. Just very proggy, very, very heavy on the use of synthesizers, a lot of cool time signature stuff, a lot of really intricate harmonic and rhythmic stuff going on here. It's worth your time, but it is also, I would say, a little bit too long. It justifies the length, but I would have loved this if it was a 35-minute album. So
they're a band I struggle with. They are a band I struggle with. I appreciate the shit out of them.
Well, this would not be the one for you. I can guarantee you that. I think that it's cool, though. It's worth listening to a song off of to see if you want to go further.
Yeah, I think I've got their first couple, and I got the Shiki album they put out. Pretty good. I enjoyed it, but I don't never return to it. I don't know what it is. What were you gonna say, Jake? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I was gonna say they're on like my list of bands to check out, kind of next to like Bluthaus Nord, where they're just such an extensive catalog, and I know that it's a very involved listening experience to really grasp them. There's some weirdness to it, and I just haven't gotten around to being in the place where I want to dive into it.
It's really interesting that you bring up Bluthaus Nord, because the journey of me getting into this album is very much like the journey of me getting into Memoria Vetusta 2, which I know it's probably one of the ones you're going to go to first, right? So that album is just, it's not immediate. It's very dense, but the payoff is there. It's just, I don't go to that one often either. Man, let me know how that goes when you get into Blue House Nord. Oh, yeah, one of my favorites.
I tried listening to the new one. I just wasn't in the right headspace for it. The clean vocals on the new one were just throwing me off. I was listening to it at work, so it wasn't a real focused listen, and just the clean vocals. I was like, on the first track or two, I was like, I'm not in the mood for this, and I can switch to something else. I need to go back to it. I know a lot of people had that as their album of the year.
Yeah,
called it like one of their most accessible albums. So I was like, I'll jump in there, and I need to go back to it.
Yeah,
in the right frame of mind and just a focused listen here in the music room.
Mm-hmm. Emotionally complex music is hard to process that way, and in Blue Dust Nord's case, just dense music, it can be a challenge to process too, even though it could be really good. I'm Magical Beasts of Rebellion and Work That Transforms God are my two favorites. Those are like super dark and evil. They're just really creepy, dark, swirling kind of vibe. It isn't like a bunch of layers. There was an album he put out called Mork, I think it's called. It sounded like the same song over and over and over again. It was just and it wasn't necessary. It was very challenging and very alienating sounding record. I kind of got off the bandwagon at that point with that band.
The Work That Transforms God, I hear a lot of people mention that one is kind of like the opposite end of the spectrum to like the new one, as
for
like
sure.
One to check out, but it's completely different. So that's probably the next one I'll check out.
Yeah, it sounds like a Leviathan record, but if he was doing like very, very like early Leviathan, like, but as like a truly technical dissonant black metal project. It's a lot, but it's so cool.
Yeah.
All right. Alex, I don't know if you see this or not, but my message here, but I did see your video. I commented on it and told you to do more videos because you're very good at it. So get to work, buddy. Don't give up. More than one a year. Come on. It's like Jake's level of input. One a year. Come on.
Hey, I'm working on it. You talk about procrastination.
I'm the king, but you might be trying to dethrone it. So
I might be. I'm working on it. You procrastinating until Wednesday night to hit us up with this topic.
Right.
You realize that procrastination kind of sucks trying to rush it.
We picked an easy topic, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I knew it'd be fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some maybe sonically relevant to what most people in the country are going through, and that is Winter. Battles in the North by Immortal. Great record. Classic. Very excited when this thing came out. Little annoyed how sped up it sounds. They wanted it faster. Abath played drums on this, and I think they sped the tape up to get it faster. But still classic songs. But when I'm grabbing for this band, it's usually Pure Holocaust or At the Heart of Winter. At the Heart of Winter to me is a perfect riff album. Every riff on that thing is golden grams from start to finish.
That's my pull. At the Heart.
It's such a great album. So much flow and very hooky songs. It's like it's hard to call it black metal. I mean, Pure Holocaust has in the debut, Diabolical Full Moon, Mysticism. Those have the kind of the true spirit of black metal about them. You start getting into this here, the goofiness of Immortal kind of starts to show a little bit. The videos where they run from mountain to mountain and it's just silly things. But At the Heart of Winter just kind of shows that they're badass riff writers, badass. And this one just kind of gets passed over time and time again. It's not because I don't like it. It's a good record, but yeah, it just doesn't hold up. Like, I want to go for the riff, man. I want to go for the riff.
Now, wait, before you put that CD away, I have a question for you because you do graphic design. Is that B the same font as Addles in the North? Or did they go in and intentionally choose a different B for that?
That's a different B.
I love
that's
that B.
That's a different B.
I love that B.
And it would have been too much to have the whole thing in that font, I think.
It would have looked like a Claire's jewelry, I don't know, display case.
What I would have
something.
fucked with design wise, I would have made the H the same as the B and like had
Oh
it
yeah, like
pointing inward, so it was like pointing
Yeah.
up at the guys at the. But you know, that's just stupid little things that my eye sees. But I'm far from a good designer. I know enough to be dangerous, and that's about that.
Everybody's throughout the country is going through that winter, but I threw on the Sorcier de Glace shirt trying to summon some of that snow here in Utah. It's been a drought this year. We've probably got less than an eighth of an inch here
Wow.
all winter. It's insane.
Man.
Hey, 125 of you in the chat tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you. Thanks again. We love having you every week. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for making the chat exciting and keeping us in check if we're throwing out bad information. You guys are awesome fact checkers. So cheers to all you folks. Welcome to Friday Night Type Party with Marty. Yeah.
The kerning on that B.
Yeah. All right, sir. You're up. Dude, I got one of those in my stack too. I saw the corner of what you're about to show.
Back to the death metal for me.
Yep.
This is my number 2 death metal album of all time.
Oh man.
Those Once Loyal. I threw this on today, and I think it gave me that further itch to listen to more death metal. Just it'd been years since I actually, sat down and listened to it. Funny story of something not to do for people. The Kill Chain was my favorite song on here, and it's got that build up right at the start of the song. I set that as my alarm. I made that track my alarm, and it made me hate it so bad, having to wake up at 3 a.m. every morning hearing that. Like, oh god damn it. And so I never returned this album since then until today. I was like, holy shit, this album is so catchy, so riffy.
It's great.
Oh, the riffs are amazing on here. And now I want to go back and listen to more Bolt Thrower, which when I listen to death metal, it's usually one and done, and then I'm good for another year. But now I'm feeling that itch thanks to Bolt Thrower. We'll see if it lasts until, tomorrow or the next day whenever I get a chance to sit down and really spin some more music.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that album.
Oh, so good. And every song has, at least one of those riffs where you're just like fucking ready to bang your head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Snap your neck too.
All right, Charlie.
All right. So now, as not a joke, I am actually going to go back to the realm of Funeral Doom. This is another band that I actually do listen to this band a lot. Not this record, but this record is way better than my listening history would give it credit for. The band is Ahab, and the record is The Coral Tombs. This thing's incredible, top to bottom. Is it a little cheesy? Yeah, of course it is. But I mean, I love the album cover. I love everything about this thing. And the layout's really thoughtful. The way that they did all of this, super nice. This is like one of those rare CDs where you sit down with it and you enjoy the CD experience maybe more than the vinyl experience. And I actually feel that way with a lot of doom metal, like we were joking about earlier with the Swallow the Sun that you had up, Jake. It's like you got to flip the record like 18 times to get through that. It's already hard enough emotionally. So having it where it's on 1 or 2 CDs, if it's really that long, makes it a better experience. But everything about this record is really fantastic. The lyrics, the story, the concept of it. I remember I first gave this a listen after I read some Jules Verne, and it fit right in perfectly with that kind of vibe. The exploring of the depths and people dying of drowning and stuff. but yeah, I find it to be a really dynamic record. I do find it to be obviously not as pummeling or punishing as some of their earlier material, but it's one of those that I put on not as often as I should, even though I recognize that there's something really, really special in it. I don't know if that's just the Funeral Doom curse for me, where I want to put it on 4 times speed, but it's absolutely worth the time, and it's a great experience. So yeah, Ahab, the Choral Tombs. I think this is from 2023, so this is pretty recent output. But yeah,
good one. I maybe listened to that record twice. Someone gave it to me, and I just haven't. Funeral Doom, man. I got to be in the mood for it.
Yeah,
and the mood is so fleeting when it hits. It's like one album, like, okay, I'm good for 6 months.
yeah.
All right, I'm up next. Well, let's get this out of the way. Fourth Crusade. You know what? This is a great record, but I could not tell you the last time I spun this record. Why? Because it's not For Victory. Straight up, the answer. For Victory to me is another perfect record, start to finish. Riff after riff after riff. Songwriting, ending with that amazing howitzer blast. Oh, so good. This here, when it came out, I really liked it, but it sounded to me like War Master Part 2. I think War Master is a bit better. Better riffs, better songs on that one. It's kind of like the Obituary, Cause of Death, and Complete. And Complete wanted to be Cause of Death really bad. This kind of felt like I said, felt like War Master. It's not a bad thing. I mean, they were another one of those bands that had a formula. They perfected it as they went along, and then just focused on writing really solid songs. And this to me felt a little transitional, but it's still awesome. I just haven't spun it in 100 years. So this is one of the first ones I picked for this, actually. So Fourth Crusade, great record, but it's not For Victory.
Yeah.
Jacob.
So I'm mute. Back to some mellow death, one of my favorite genres, and I just got this neat little box set in.
Ooh.
Dark Tranquillity. Gonna go with Sky Dancer.
You can put your weed in there.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Go with Sky Dancer for this one. Amazing album. Probably the first true mellow death album. I know. What is it? No, I can't think of their name. Eucharist, Eucharist, I think, had an album out around the same time that you could argue was the first, but Dark Tranquillity was definitely the first one to hit the more popular waves. But I just don't pull this one as often because the gallery, if I want, Dark Tranquillity, it's got Michael on vocals instead of Anders, and I prefer Michael as the vocalist. And instrumentally, it's probably a touch better than Sky Dancer. Michael's off the guitars. He's not, the world's greatest guitarist. But then if I want Anders on vocals, then I'm going to pull Jester Race. And so this one kind of falls behind just based on the other two albums existing. Not that it's a bad album. It's amazing. I love the kind of juvenile ignorance to their songwriting. Their creativity, doing things that really weren't being done in music at the time, is incorporating all the folk into there. Really, really cool stuff. And yeah, like we're talking about, these are albums we love. They just get kind of set aside due to other factors.
Yeah. Sealed in a wooden box.
Sealed in a wooden box.
1,000 times better than Jester Race, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Billion,
Charlie
trillion.
P's on Jester Race.
Anybody looking for vinyl on this? Cosmic Key just announced their pressing.
Oh, cool.
So snag
Nice.
one. I ordered one right away, even though I just got this box set in. Collector scum.
Yeah, it's a sickness.
Now I only need one more dark Tranquillity vinyl, and I'm complete.
Nice.
What's your last one?
Haven.
Hmm.
I need Haven.
Cool.
Not a. It's a expensive one, but it's not super expensive. I think last time I looked, it was like $80 on Discogs.
Charles, you need to calm down.
She just called me Charles. That's how I know I'm in trouble. Oh.
Hey, Andrea. All right, you're up.
All right, time to get in more trouble. Let's see. I'm gonna go with let's get personal. So I grew up in Texas. I live in Portland, Oregon now. But in growing up in Texas, like, yes, there's a lot of metal bands from there, but there weren't that many that were doing something that felt really special and zeitgeisty, and like, it never felt like a Texas band was leading the charge. I mean, I grew up in Texas after the whole Pantera thing, so I didn't get to be there for that. Even though I'm from Houston, Dead Horse, which is an incredible fucking band, a little bit before my time. So for me, growing up, there weren't a lot of bands. I mean, like, there was like a Verse Saphira, but nobody knew who they were. And it's not like you weren't talking with anybody through the grocery store about a Verse Saphira records. But the band that really, in my eyes and in my time, put Texas on the map on an international scale for heavy metal was Power Trip's Nightmare Logic. I know that this record is influential and you can hear it in pretty much all American thrash metal now in a way that I don't like. But damn it, when I go back to this, I can't deny that it's a special album. I don't even want to like it, but I love it. And with Riley Gale's passing at the beginning of the pandemic, I never really personally knew him that well. But it was something where it felt like you were grieving not just a person, not just a band. You were grieving an entire scene and an entire movement with his death. And so whenever I go back to this record, there's this feeling of that tragedy that's forever encapsulated in it. Now, Riley Gale, the vocalist, he wasn't the person that wrote all of the material. He did write all the lyrics. And I know that the other guys are working on more material. They're coming back and they're going to do another record, hopefully, with the guy who I think is the vocalist of that other band, Fugitive. And so I am excited for that. I think that's going to be a really big full circle healing moment. Maybe it's something that makes it easier for me to get back into this record, which is something I'm kind of looking forward to and hopeful about. But this is my personal pick for the day, just because it's a very special and important album to the place I used to call home, the place that made me. And it was one of the few records that I got to be like really excited about that came from a local band that wasn't just known in Austin or Houston or Texas or the US, but was acclaimed internationally. Yeah. And I mean, Obsu, yeah, of course, they're another band that you could name. There's other bands that you could name, but for me, Power Trip was the big one when I was coming up that really kind of blew the lid off of the Texas scene, I think. So yeah, Nightmare Logic, Power Trip. Great album.
That's a good pick. I love that album, but I don't pull it out very often.
Yeah. Solitude Eternis, absolutely great. I'm not saying that Texas doesn't have great metal bands, okay? Jesus. There's plenty. But yeah.
All right. I couldn't tell you the last time I listened to this record.
Oh.
To Megatherion, Celtic Frost. And it's not because I don't like it. It's a great record. Love it. When this came out, it blew my little mind at the time. But these days, Celtic Frost, I'm going to listen to this band. I'm going to listen to Monotheist. I think that album is superb. I think that was a band that always aspired to be something more than just power chords and they actually blended. They finally made the atmosphere or the avant-garde album they always aspired to make. And there's elements, there's signs of that on the second. Well, this I guess is the debut full length. As of last week, I never thought Morbid Tales was an EP, but it's listed as an EP. The US edition of it has added songs, so it always felt like a full length to me. So I guess this is the debut full length of Celtic Frost. This is all new. Is an old man, news to me, but here we go. You got the cello on this stuff, and early signs that they wanted to be more cinematic and more adventurous, not be just a ham-fisted minimalistic type of band. So yeah, Monotheist is the one I'm often listening to if I'm going to be listening to Celtic Frost. See, I start off saying Celtic, but I know it's Celtic. Celtics. I grew up and it was Celtic, and then all of a sudden I realized it was the Celts, and so it's Celtic Frost. But absolute classic, part of my teenage years here as well. But I just have not gone back to it because I really find a lot of excitement and true spirit of the band in Monotheist.
I listened to Monotheist earlier this week, actually. That album is so like just mechanical feeling.
It's the Peter Tägtgren production. Weird. Yeah,
but
man,
for me, I'm pulling Morbid Tales
banger
more often than not for Celtic.
Total banger
for Celtic Frost.
Celtic. It was Celtic because it's Celtics. The Boston Celtics, not the Boston Celtics. I don't know where to be on this. It's like Alan with his Kirith Ungol. It's supposed to be Cirith Ungol, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, what do we know? Nothing.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Celtic. We'll go with Celtic Frost.
I'll go with this one. For similar reasons as like the Power Trip poll.
Michigan represent.
Yeah. My favorite Black Dahlia Murder album, but since Trevor's passing, I just haven't. I listened to it, right after Trevor passed away. Loved it, but just haven't really been able to bring myself to be in the mood to listen to Black Dahlia. I think maybe if they didn't continue the band, then there would be more of the pull to go back to it. But I don't know. It's not that I don't like them continuing. It just left it in this weird spot in my mind that I don't ever feel like returning to them. But yet, an amazing album, blending the mellow death riffs and to a more even some like metalcore in there you can hear. I just love this album. I actually one of the only bands I've traveled out of state and I'm glad I did. A few years before Trevor passed, I went up to Idaho to check these guys out. Awesome show, just hot as balls in the venue. No AC. They were with a dying fetus, and that was the only mosh pit where I looked at it and I was scared to even go near it. There were these two like gargantuan men in there throwing the karate moves around. I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with you guys?
Did you need a Monster Energy drink tattoo to get into that pit? Is that like the entrance fee?
That was the vibe that was going on in there.
Yeah. Mountain Dew and Monster
two
Energy drink.
Idaho rednecks just throwing out the karate kicks out in the pit. I'm like,
crowd killing.
Screw you, Dad.
The crazy thing is they were like middle-aged guys too. They were late 30s, early 40s. I'm like, what the hell is going on here in Idaho?
Just all that pent-up Mormon rage.
Hey, that's Utah.
That's
Oh, is it
potato
Utah?
rage, potato fever.
Potato
Yeah.
fever.
Yeah.
Idaho is pretty dense with the Mormon population as well.
Yeah.
It's Utah Junior.
Right on.
Okay, let's see. Well, I already kind of previewed the Yob record, so I'm going to put the Yob record down. Okay, let's see. Oh, here's one. This is a record that rules. Absolutely incredible. I don't know why I don't go to it more often, so I'm just going to put it up here. Angel Witch by Angel Witch. The song Angel Witch by Angel Witch off of Angel Witch is absolutely incredible. And the album front to back is fantastic. But it's one of those where they did such a great job on this album of making every single part of it so immediately accessible. Like you listen to a song top to bottom and every detail, every performance is so well arranged and put forward. They're like, even though there's a lot of brilliant stuff going on here, it all presents itself right away. And you don't need 30 spins of this album to get it. You know, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be a great thing to put on around the house and everybody can agree on it. It's a great time. But I don't go back to it often because I just don't feel like there's that much more to discover, which is going to sound fucking pretentious as shit to say, but I don't know. Do you guys get what I'm saying on this? Like, Marty, I know that this is a record that you adore and love, right?
I don't even own it.
Oh, well, fuck yeah. All right, cool. I feel less horrible now.
I've heard that album once or twice, and
yeah,
It was once for me, and didn't stick with me. I didn't care to return to it.
yeah. And
I need to revisit it.
I mean, it's got a great album cover. It is also kind of one of those records where you look at the album cover, you're expecting to get some kind of sound, and then what you get is a record that sounds like Boston.
street rock,
English
street rock.
And it's great for what it is, but it's like it almost borders not really being a metal record to me. Again, I'm trying to piss some people off in the chat, get some action here by saying that, but yeah, I don't know. And this version, you know, it's on jack-o'-lantern orange vinyl. Nobody fucking needs that. It looks so bad. I mean, I might as well just pull it out. I'm never going to pull this record out again. And I say this all like as this is an album that I do love, but like, I don't know.
The record looks salmon on camera.
Yeah, it's like translucent orange. I don't know. Jack-o'-lantern orange.
There you go.
Angel Witch by Angel Witch. All right. Well,
I guess I'm up next, eh? Well, let's go with some death metal. And this album completely eviscerates. What a great, great album. This came out. I was so fucking excited. Listened to it endlessly. Indecent and Obscene by Dismember. I couldn't tell you the last time I listened to this record. And I know myself, Devin, and Jurgen are going to be getting together here in the months to come to do a Dismember deep dive. So I will be listening to this soon. But yeah, whenever it's Dismember these days, I'm grabbing like an ever-flowing stream. That album never gets old. Override the Overture is one of the best opening death metal songs ever. Absolute chainsaw, searing melody line. Those guitars at the beginning are crushing. And this is great too. One thing is the production on this is a little fuzzier, which makes it a bit more raw, more intense. It's great. There's no complaints. I've always hated the cover. It just looks so bad. It just looks so bad. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, what do you guys think? Dismember. What was the last time you spun this one?
actually, not that long ago.
I've never spun that one.
Wow. Classic. Great.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. It's not the first one I go to, but I could go to any of them and be happy. I don't know. I feel like that one.
There's Massive Killing Capacity is the only one that felt like a misstep at the time, but now I kind of like it. I mean, all the Swedish bands were going to the Entombed route, the more rock.
Yeah.
Dismember weren't immune to that. They definitely tried it out. Casket Garden, all those tracks like that were just, Desultory did it and they failed at it miserably. Dismember didn't fail at it, but it just.
Is that their the one from like 2004 or 2005?
Massive Killing Capacity? No, that was.
One, what am I thinking of? There's one from like the early and mid 2000s that I can't really do that much.
Oops, I typed in the wrong thing.
Oh, Where Iron Crosses Grow.
They haven't really put out a bad record, but yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I listened to that album either, to be honest.
Yeah. Where Iron Crosses Grow, that one is
Massive Killing was 95.
Yeah.
The only Dismember I've listened to was Like an Ever-Flowing Stream, and I've got the demos on vinyl. I ran into that for like $10 at the record store. I was like, okay, I'll check this out.
Yeah.
That's my knowledge of Dismember.
Well, you get the idea.
Yeah.
They get a little bit more Iron Maiden-esque as they go on, which is cool. Not, like full-blown Iron Maiden, but the dueling guitar harmonies, it feels a bit like Maiden influence, especially on the self-titled, the last album.
Mm-hmm.
A couple songs that has a Maiden vibe, but great. They've been consistent. All right, Jake, what you got?
Go with a little black metal this time. Wanderer's Astrology of the Nine by Mare Cognitum and Spectral Lore. Both amazing projects. Similar but distinctly different sounds to them. Mare Cognitum has a more melodic approach, where Spectral Lore is a little more droning with his style. Cosmic black metal is how I would describe this one. On this one, they kind of alternate tracks. It's a really long album. It's probably close to 2 hours. Collaborative album. Alternating tracks, each one taking a planet. 10 tracks, and then the final 2 tracks are both playing the tracks together. They're both artists are playing collaborating on the track together.
Right on.
About Pluto, and the whole thing just builds up to me to that final crescendo of those last 2 tracks, and that's when the real grand payoff of the album is. Not that the tracks individually suck, they're all phenomenal, but listening to them in sequence build up to that is the real payoff of this album. Just the fact of the length and the fact that it's a collaborative album, when each project has their own albums that I would usually pull before I pull this one, is kind of the reason why I don't pull this one very often. But yeah, phenomenal stuff in that album. Artwork is really cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Pluto, not many black metal bands writing about Disney dogs. That's pretty cool. Impressive.
Yeah, I think my favorite tracks beside those 2 are Venus the Priestess and Saturn the Rebel, both by Neptune the Mystic, not Saturn, both by Mare Cognitum. I like his more melodic approach over the droningness of the spectral lore.
I do like both of those projects a lot. I like Spectral Lore a little bit more than Mare Cognitum.
Yeah.
But Mare Cognitum is definitely a band. If you got some recommendations for me, I would love to get into on a deeper level.
Yeah. Solar Paroxysm is one to check out. That's his most recent. And Luminous Aether. Those are the
Lunacy.
two I would recommend. But yeah, with Spectral Lore, I almost like his other projects more than Spectral Lore. His like Mistress, have you listened to that one? His like
The kind of trad metal band, right?
kind of a like medieval feeling. Some trad in
Oh
there.
no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really cool. I can't think of I think I know which one you're talking about, the more trad metal one.
Yeah, I would have to like Metal
one's really
Archives him
cool.
and find it, but yeah, he's a genius and a really, really sweet person.
Yeah.
All right, Charlie.
All right. Let's see. Based on how cool that album cover was, I'm going to pick another one that I think has a really cool album cover. This is a project featuring a lot of people who are heroes of mine, people that I just absolutely worship and adore as musicians and as people. But this is a record that I think more people need to give a chance. And that is the first Vole record. No, not like the thing that gets stuck in your garden. This is V-Hole Vole. I mean, first off, look at how brilliant that album cover is.
Very
Just
cool.
looks like a record I want to listen to all day.
It's like a Voivod cover, kind of.
It does, yeah. And there is a lot of Voivod influence on this. You got Mike Scheid on vocals, John Cobbett on guitar from Hammers of Misfortune and Slow Fag, and then Sigrid on bass and Aesop Decker on drums. I mean, wow. What a freaking lineup. The energy on this is palpable. It's chaotic. It's all these people at a really interesting time in all their careers, cutting loose and blowing off some steam and just having a damn good time. But I don't go to it that often, and I can't tell you why. I mean, the production, there's a fog and a mist to it. It's like very technical Voivod, but almost with like the lo-fi raw punky spirit of black metal. But then you've just got these unhinged performances from everybody involved. If you want all of those guys at their most energetic, I mean, this is a great record to check out. I don't reach for it often, but that's because it's also kind of like a place and a commitment and a really involved listen. Similar to the way that Sigh record, Imaginary Sonoscape, is for me. This is one that you got to really sit down and actively focus on to get the most out of it. And it's weird. It's melodically strange. It just has a strange energy to it, but it's the kind of strange energy that you can't look away from, or this record doesn't leave me. And in that way, I guess I don't need to go back to it that often, but it's worth checking out if you guys haven't heard it. Vole. And I believe it's just the self-titled first record. They have a second album called Deeper Than Sky. And I just feel like this should have been one of those bands. It's like, man, this was really the perfect encapsulation of what those four people could do in a room. I don't think they needed to do a second record. This is the one that I go to when I go to one. So,
yeah,
Vole.
I didn't think I'd ever heard of that. And I went to, add it to my wish list on Bandcamp. And I actually had the second one in my wish list. I remember nothing about it.
Yeah, check this one out first.
You're saying that one first.
Yeah, and as far as Ludacra goes, I absolutely love Ludacra. I think that they're incredible. Got to see them at Northwest Terror Fest in Seattle when they did their reunion. I think it was their first reunion show back. We got a poster of them upstairs in our living room. Yeah, special group. So,
All right. Let's go with The Art of Self-Defense, the first High on Fire album. This thing, I'm not a Sleep fan, not even a little bit. I like maybe one song from Sleep. And that's an uneducated statement because I got off the train at the Jerusalem or Dope Smoker station. A 40-minute long album with one riff does not an album make. Was it the Architect with the astronaut on the cover?
The Sciences, yeah.
The science, yeah. That one actually I did listen to a bit. It's okay. Pretty decent. But when this came out, I snagged a copy. This is on Man's Ruin Records, and this to me was what Sleep should have been. There was just, and this is before they went full on crunchy metal style too. The albums after this, it kind of disappointed me a little bit because it was so metal riffy. This thing here, there is just a flow to this record. The riffs are mighty. It's like you're in the sonic river, the sonic lazy river, which I guess you could also say Sleep is as well. But there's riffs here, and it's just such a utterly loud sounding, like they cranked up the amps in the studio and went for it. I like the songs on here. In spite of it centering around this kind of droning groove, there are songs present. They're kind of mid-pace. There's a bit of excitement to them and the way they go, and you just kind of get going along with the flow of these tracks, and it feels like a band that is stuck in between metal and noise rock and doom. It's like they're like kind of floating in between these three styles, and I like there's a bit of a noise rock thing in here. It I don't know. It's just I've always wanted another one of these records. I didn't mind the shit that came out after it, but it was a little disappointing. But anyway, my long rant here. This is one of these great records that every time I put it on, I'm like, God, why haven't I listened to this in so long? And it has at this point been a very long time. So if you are, ninja throwing star action. So if you are,
you can't get those things out.
Yeah, half the time you can't, and other times they just shoot right out of there. If you are maybe bored like I am with Sleep, then this might be a good alternative. Check out The Art of Self-Defense by High on Fire, their debut album.
Love that fucking album. And I mean, like that whole era of High on Fire, when I feel like Matt Pike's vocals were undermixed, is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Where it like makes you want to turn it up so that you can hear his vocals, and then the music is just all around it.
Yep.
Man, the riff on 10,000 Days or 10,000 Years. Holy cow, that's one of the best. Just you never will leave my brain. It's a brain splinter. It's stuck in there forever.
Yep. Very loud amps, just swarming feedback or swarming tone and riffs for days. Great, heavy, mighty riffs that aren't boring. God, I remember getting a promo. Well, it eventually became Dope Smoker, but when it came out on London Records, I got a promo sent to me. It was called Jerusalem. And I'm just listening to this. I'm like, oh my God, is this ever going to start? Is it ever going to get going? It just seems like an intro that never materialized. And people love it, man. They love it. And I'm not on the same planet as those folks sometimes, I guess, but
I love it, but man, that is a record that I just would never own on vinyl. I would never own it on vinyl because the whole point of it is to listen to it front to back. Like the fact that you even think you can do it on an LP just because some people want it on vinyl with the big artwork. Yeah. It's just not even designed for that. There's some records that are just better on CD, and that's one of them.
Jeremy, I own Holy Mountain. And the lead off track, Dragnaut, is the best song on the album. In fact, the opening riff to Dragnaut is the best moment of the album, in my opinion. It never gets as good as that. You know, that one Sabbath riff that little Sabbath lick that starts off Dragnaut. Great song. Great moment. The rest of the album bores the shit out of me. Don't know what it is. Jake, you're up.
All right. Got a twofer for this one. Got Warning with Watching from a Distance. It's more like traditional doom, but so emotive.
Oh, gut wrenching.
Like gut wrenching. And the real standout on here is the vocals. He's not like a Patrick Walker. He's not like a traditionally like amazing vocalist. I would say he's got a very unique sound to his voice, but the way it plays with the music and just hits the emotional tone of what they're going for, that like warble to his voice just perfectly captures the sadness, the heartbreak, the whatever you want to call it. Just amazing doom record. And then his other project, 40-watt sun. More droney with this one, but just as emotive. Fantastic stuff. I haven't checked out the more recent stuff by 40-watt sun. From what I understand, is it's not as droney. I don't know where he goes with it, but warning, for those that don't know, they're coming out with a new album this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Really excited to hear that one. But the song Restless on here, just an amazing track. And if anybody knows the band, the artist, not a full band, solo project, Anathema, he did a little acoustic EP that's digital only where he covers that song. And I think it's one of the few covers where he actually elevates the song. You know, it's already an amazing track with Patrick singing in it, but Yori's performance on that is just heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
I recommend everybody check that one out.
And if you haven't heard Perfect Light, Jake, that record, it's like acoustic. I'm just not gonna sell this record if I try to say it's like doing like a lounge record, because it's not, but it's all like acoustic instruments with soft brushed drums, and the lyrics, the melodies and everything. I mean, it's the most heart-wrenching thing. It's maybe my favorite 40-watt sun record. So if you've been curious to check it out, Perfect Light is just, it was my album of the year that year, 2022 overall.
I'll definitely be checking that one out. I've been meaning to get around to it, but just the weight of everything that Patrick does makes it, hard to go to.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, he could sing about forgetting to take the trash to the curb like I did on Wednesday night and make you just want to fucking end it all.
It's crazy because, you listen to his voice and you're like, he's not like a traditionally amazing vocalist, but the way his vocals fit the music and the sadness that he plays, it's just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, I don't know. It's a very unique voice he has.
Not to be diminish what you guys are talking about, this deep, heavy record, but you mentioned forgetting to take the garbage out. I did that, I don't know, 14 years ago when Parker was a baby, and it was filled. It was the heat of the summer, filled with baby diapers in the dumpster, and I forgot to get it out to the fucking road.
Ooh.
I tell you what, that was a long week for the neighbor. It wasn't just the dumpster that smelled like rotting death carcass. It was the entire neighborhood, and maybe the neighborhood over whenever the wind would blow. It was, you talk about wanting to die, especially having to put more garbage in the dumpster. You almost have to throw the garbage in, slam it, and run. Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, I hit it with some bacon soda.
You wouldn't believe the smells I've smelled, Marty.
Yeah.
But that's enough talk about garbage. I'm off work.
Oh, true. I forget. Yeah.
No, I'm a garbage man by trade.
Yeah. True. I forgot about that. Well, I was the guy that you hated the most on the block if you were rolling through my neighborhood.
I actually have a recycling route. So
I actually drove a glass recycling truck for a while. So when it got privatized in the city of Houston for a hot second, I worked for a glass recycling company and got to drive one of the big trucks around. But man, even just like piled up wine bottles that smell like vinegar after they've been sitting out. Ooh, can't get that out of me. That you just stink for days, even if you shower.
What kind of, not to get off topic, but what kind of truck did you drive? Was it like the residential garbage cans that were filled with glass, or?
So it was like people could have whatever can, like, there was no like standard glass recycle bin or box. And the truck that we had was like rented out from a fleet. It was kind of like the big like waste management trucks, but it didn't have any of the fancy like automated arms to pull everything up. So we had to get out and manually dump everything by hand.
Was it like a side load or rear load?
Side load. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the front load commercial stuff.
Oh, the big bins. Yeah. Like
go over your head.
I always wanted to do that. I never got to do that, but
remind me when we're offline, Jake, to tell you a story. When I'm not gonna talk about it here, but I'll share a story after. Sorry, everybody. All right, Charlie.
All right. Let's see.
Remind me, because it's gross. Anyway.
All right, here we go. This is an album that I know is great. I love them. I love this album, but talk about a band that leaves a bad taste in my mouth now. This isn't for any personal reason. This isn't for any political reason. This is purely because I think that what they did after this was a stinking heap of garbage. But this album is pretty undeniable. Solstafir's Ota. I know, even this one, Marty's shaking his head. Not about it.
It never clicked with me.
I love this record. It's the only record of theirs that I enjoy. Even the earlier stuff, I don't like it as much as this. This feels special. I mean, the album cover is incredible. The atmosphere, the music. He's doing the angsty folk punk vocal thing on it. And that's never my thing, but it works on this album. I like the use of banjo. This is the band that people should be heckling about. Where's the banjo? Where's the banjo? It should be this band. And they should only play material off this record. But man, it's hard to take Solstafir seriously these days. And I hate to say that. But
I hate you saying that as well.
This record's great. And I just don't put it on because I want it to live in my memory as being this special thing. I don't want to go back and hear the new albums when I listen to it. So I'm trying to keep this one in the time capsule and just leave it there.
You don't like this one?
No.
I really like it. I really like it. It's not as good as that one, but
maybe I need to go back and give it another shot. But man, I just after Ota, I haven't been able to do much with them.
Bedridden, that's the follow up to that one, right? Bedridden, something like that. However you say it in Icelandic.
Yeah.
The, like tannish album cover.
Yeah, with like the deer in the water or whatever.
Yeah. I have that one. I don't go back to it ever. Otta's the one I revisit the most, and I love that. I saw him on tour, I think, on that album with Paradise Lost and the Atlas Moth. It was a really cool show.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Man, the Atlas Moth. I was just talking about them the other day. Where are they? What happened to that band? Are they still around?
I'm not sure, but two of the members put out an album with some other guys called Motherless. Really cool album from last year. Check that one out. Okay. It's like more feral version of the Atlas Moth.
Cool.
It's really cool.
I will check that out.
Yeah, Motherless. But
Motherless.
I think the Atlas Moth, at least on the archives, is still active.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. They are still active. They haven't put out a record since 2018. Motherless did. Yeah.
That was a cool album.
All right.
This.
I guess I'm up, and kind of breaks my heart I'm showing this, but it's not because I don't love it, and I do love this record. Gorefest False. This album is one of those perfect records, start to finish. In fact, our band, The Glorious Dead, the namesake, is the first lead-off track on this album. Yeah, one I'm looking for on vinyl. If anybody has an extra copy of this laying around that they don't want, let me know. But this is awesome. I'm going to say Dutch death metal, but from the Netherlands. So I don't think by saying Dutch that's correct. So absolutely killer, crushing band. Very simplistic, but it's the presentation and the tracks and the riffs. They're very straightforward band. Ed Wormsby on drums. Wormsby, absolutely crushing drummer, super technical, perfect, heavy as hell. Great. It's correct. I'm Dutch. Okay. Thank you for setting me straight, because I don't want to say the wrong thing and make people mad when it comes to nationalities and stuff. I know how people take that stuff very seriously. But yep, this is an amazing album. I like it better than the debut. The debut is just a little too simplistic for me, and the shirt says it all. But yeah, Gorefest, False, one of my favorite records. I just couldn't tell you the last time I spun it, and because I think it's because their last album, Rise to Ruin, is just as good as this one. So I tend to, since it's newish, whenever I'm in the mood for Gorefest, I usually spin that one because it's really, really, really great record. Jacob.
Back to the Funeral Doom realm. And you guys know Clouds? The band Clouds?
Oh, the band from was it Romania or something?
I think so. Solo project, at least it was when this came out.
Huh.
I think everything they've done was released through the vinyl division, so that doesn't really give a clue to where they're from. Somewhere in Europe. The guy's name is like Daniel Negrau, something like that. So, but yeah, fantastic. I would call it Funeral Doom, but it mixes in a good touch of like Death Doom, some like atmospheric doom into it. Super emotive stuff. Just very well written. Atmospheric funeral doom. They don't have a bad album in their discography. If I'm remembering right, at some point he starts to collaborate with Deha, who's a very prolific artist. I don't know if anybody is familiar with him, but
Were they like doing like 4 albums a month type of thing for a while? It was ridiculous. Am I thinking of the same Traha? Traha, is that the
No. Yeah, not the same. This one's Deha.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of that Traha black metal band.
Yeah, that was a band I tried to follow.
You can't. It's
but
impossible.
It was like the first couple, I was like, this is really cool. And then I'm like, you're putting out something like every other week. I can't process what you're putting out.
Yeah, it's too much. Flooding the market. Yep. Clouds
is a fantastic band from the realm of Funeral Doom. Very worth checking out. Yeah, it's another, like all Funeral Doom, pretty emotionally crushing stuff.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know that album, actually.
This is probably my favorite. Dor, D-O-R.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
That one was really hard for me to find, but I think they've repressed it since.
Cool. I'll have to check that out for sure.
All right, Charlie.
Okay. Let's see. All right. This one will go along with Gorefest pretty well. Great album. Can't deny it. Morbid Saint.
Savage album.
Yeah. Spectrum of Death. This is an incredible record. It's incredible. It's an historic and important monument to savagery and brutality. It's awesome. It's killer. I don't listen to it very often just because it's so intense. I mean, it's got the intensity of a war metal album without being a war metal record, you know? And for a record like this to come out at the time that it did, in the scene that it did, with this great album cover and aesthetic, I don't know. It's so unique. It's got to be heard to be believed. But Spectrum of Death, you don't need it to go to it that often. Once is good for every 2 to 3 years, if that. Got to see them live, which was pretty cool. They were
Timu Eddie.
Yeah, Timu Eddie. Yeah. It looks like they took Eddie and ripped his face off. Great album cover, classic. It's almost like they're screwed you to to Iron Maiden, but I've always wondered that. Yeah, Morbid Saint, Iron Maiden. I don't know. There's like a kindred thing, but it's like they're trying to be way more brutal. And this was back in the day when you could wear your own band shirt and get away with it. So,
in gym shorts to your photo shoot.
yeah. So there's two of them wearing the same shirt with gym shorts and cucumbers covered in foil.
You know what? I am of the school where I don't care if a band wears their own shirts. I mean, if it's good enough for Iron Maiden, it should be good enough for everybody in metal.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. It's self-promotion. People are like, oh, what does your shirt say? Like, oh, it's my band, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, you have a band? I mean, it opens up a whole discussion, you know?
Yeah. It depends on the person.
Yeah. Granted, I'm not an Iron Maiden, so I guess it's a little cheesy, but
You should tell people that you are, though.
yeah. Yeah, you know that band Iron Maiden? Yeah, that's me, bro.
How often do you sport your Glorious Dead t-shirt, Marty?
I wear them around the house. I have gone out with them. My kid wears them. Our drummer wears them. So, I mean, yeah. I was wearing them out and about, but then I kind of stopped because I realized it does feel a little gross to do, but I still do it. And I'm not afraid. I'm not opposed to it.
Pimping out your kid is the way to go. That's tasteful.
It's my dad's band. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he gets to be the cool kid at school because his dad's in a band.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I want to be a doctor, Dad. None of this music stuff.
Oh, you mean the band with those old fat guys? Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, they'll think he's cool until they actually check out the band. They're like,
ooh. Ooh. Yeah. I'd be surprised though. I mean, we run into some of his buddies when we're out and about, and the one kid's in a Cannibal Corpse shirt. And one kid we picked up, took him to the mall, is wearing a Mortician shirt. I'm like, oh,
no way. That's
right on.
crazy.
So when I went to pick him, I dropped him off the mall, and I brought him. When I went to pick him up and take him home, I gave him a couple records, Glorious Dead records. He's like, thanks, man. So,
hell yeah.
All right. Okay. This is a band that is fantastic, and this is going on the listening to this weekend stack. And Finnish band Unholy, the Second Ring of Power is my favorite by them, but they put out two records after it. One called Rapture, one called Grace Fallen. They leaned into the more gothic side of their sound, and it works really, really well for them. They have a lady singer, a dedicated lady singer that sings on some of these songs. Her voice is perfect, very sad. It's not necessarily pretty. It's just a very mournful sounding voice. And the songs are a little bit more droning on this here, a little more upbeat at times, but yet they lean into that gothic vibe, like black metal, Black Doom mixed with The Cure a little bit. Yeah, these are great records. I've always loved the vibe of them. No one really ever talks about them, which is a bummer. I know one of the main guys in the band died here in the last year or two, but fantastic band. They put out some really cool dark stuff. Both of these are fantastic records. I just usually the Second Ring of Power, whenever I'm in the mood, is the one that I go to. It's just a weird, awesome Black Doom type of sound. The Finns are always a little bit obtuse when it comes to the more avant-garde stuff, and this band certainly fit the bill. Very strange, but yeah, Beer Manis, check them out. Rapture and Grace Fallen are their last two records, and if you like gothic overtones in your metal, I think you're going to really dig the albums. So check them out.
Yeah, that's a band I've like briefly seen their album covers, but I've never listened to. So I got to check them out too.
And if you want to know more of Second Ring of Power, we did an album club on that record. So go check out us talking about the record for about an hour and a half. So, Jacob.
All right, back to Melodeath. Sacrilege from Sweden. This is a double disc of the Lost in the Beauty You Slay and the Fifth Season.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that before. Yeah.
I meant to pull the vinyl, so I actually had the album art, but it's a box set that's buried in the corner.
I got the box set too on vinyl. Yeah.
It's like I didn't have time to dig it out, so I pulled the CD. But yeah, incredible, early Melodeath album. to me, it sounds like the album that should be between the Jester Race and Horacle for In Flames, just with, different vocals on it. But musically, it sounds like it would fit right between those two. Yeah, it just kind of gets forgotten about to me, being in that like Sacrilege, being in that second tier of Melodeath bands that I think of down there with like the Gates of Ishtar, Eucharist, Canaris, Quartet. Those
lads.
Like the second tier bands I think of. Usually I'm thinking of the upper tier, and then if I'm not in the mood for those, I'm usually like digging to find obscure Melodeath bands that I've yet to check out. So I just forget about Sacrilege, but I threw in Lost in the Beauty You Slay early this morning. Man, incredible.
Rules. It's great.
Yeah, it's right there with all that other shit that was coming out. It's right there with the Jester Race, the Gallery. It goes toe to toe with that stuff. The fifth season I think is really good. I can't remember off the top of my head, but Lost in the Beauty of Slay is the one I go to the most.
I think after we did the Gates of Ishtar album club, I threw on fifth season. What was the other one? Lost in the Beauty You Slay. Is that?
Yeah.
I think I threw that one on, and it made me feel even better about my opinion on the Gates of Ishtar, because that Gates of Ishtar album, when it came out, I thought it was just so blah. It seemed like just a lower tier of what everybody else was doing at the time. And there was some like the Everdawn, that Poems Burn the Past album.
Yeah.
It sounded like At the Gates, Slaughter of the Soul Part 2. I mean, there was just so many bands. Gardenian, I don't know, but God Gory. People mention God Gory. Ablaze My Sorrow. Were really good. Really good. There was just so much of it, and so many bands were doing it better than Gates of Ishtar. And it's just funny seeing like people in our Discord servers just skewering us for slamming on that record. I'm like, man, it was boring when it came out. And it's still boring.
Really good too.
Yeah, unanimated.
Yep. There's so much good shit.
Oh yeah. All right.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go for a CD. All right, this is a more recent album that I don't really know much about this band. They're on Dying Victims Productions, it looks like. But man, this album is really incredible. I love working out to it. It's just brutal and speedy. I don't really know anything about this band, so hopefully it's okay to share them. Here's a great kind of speed metal, power metal album, Division Speed by Division Speed.
Never even heard of them. Never even
don't know
that.
anything about this band really, so hoping that they're a safe pick. It is kind of World War II or military inspired speed metal.
Cool.
But it absolutely rips. I mean, it's just top to bottom. Absolutely ferocious, fun, energetic performances. I like the production a lot. It's one of those records that is standing out in a crowded room. I mean, this reminds me of some of the Death Hammer stuff. This reminds me a little bit of Hell Ripper. It also calls back to a lot of the 80s speed metal bands, but just a little bit more precision, a little updated modern tone and sound. But yeah, Division Speed. It's a fantastic record.
Came out in 2015, and they've got one full length.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, interesting.
I think it's the only thing it's really the only thing that they've done. I don't know if the members are in other things, but yeah, the CD came with a sticker. It's pretty cool. And came
put
with
it on your Trapper Keeper.
Yeah, put it on my Trapper Keeper. Came with I don't like the way the CD looks too. They did a great job with like the
Old school.
metallic, old school
Yeah.
style. So
Old school Electra or whatever major label thrash era look.
but yeah, kind of like with Funeral Doom. I mean, speed metal is something I've really got to be in the mood for. So I don't reach for speed metal records a lot. And when I do, it's not usually going to be this one, even though I got to admit, this is probably the best speed metal record that I've heard in the 21st century, other than some of that Death Hammer stuff, which, you know, Evil Power is no joke.
It's no joke. I agree.
Yeah. This is, if you're into that and you're looking for something that scratches a similar itch, it's not Death Hammer, but it is a fantastic record. That is Division Speed by Division Speed.
I'm sure it's no Agent Steel Skeptics Apocalypse either.
It is not.
Oh, God, this makes me excited just saying those words in a row. All right. Well, we got about a half hour left. I think we're going to make it here. Yeah, God, I haven't listened to this album in a long time. Where No Life Dwells, Unleashed. I put it in the thumbnail. You know, of the whole Nihilist crew of the bands, obviously Unleashed went on. They were pretty popular. They're still out there putting out records. They just put out a record last year that it showed up on a lot of year-end lists in the YouTubeverse, which surprised me a bit. So I'm going to have to apparently check out that record. But this record is really great. But you put it up there next to Like an Ever-Flowing Stream, Left Hand Path. I guess it's kind of the odd man out of that unholy trinity there. But it's still doesn't mean it's a bad record. It's a little more stripped down. They didn't go for the straight up HM2 sound. They went with just more of an old amp turned up, old school style. But still, the songs are super, super catchy, and it's just a very good record. Shadows in the Deep, also a great record. Then the band started to drift a bit for me. Across the Open Sea, God, it just started to get kind of boring, and then they went into Warrior and it just sounded more like hardcore. Johnny opted for more of a hardcore shout to his voice, and the music was just too barren to live on its own. It needed a really powerful, deathly vocalist, I think, to go with it. But anyway, this early shit's awesome. I just have not put it on the player in ages. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
Jacob.
All right, let's go to some black metal from Australia. Aquilus with Greaseus, something like that. Really cool, kind of atmospheric.
That's Australia, you said?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Australia.
Yeah. Never heard of them.
So, one man project. I think he might have expanded to having band members since this one. I think this was his debut full length. Just incredibly well written. The way he weaves the neoclassical folky stuff into that atmospheric black metal just creates this beautiful album, but it's an hour and 20 minutes, so it's a little long to sit through, and it's one of those albums that requires your full entire attention to really pick up what's going on, to really appreciate the entire album. But incredible stuff. I need to give this one another spin, as well as his most recent albums, which are as equally hard to digest, but to add to it, it's a 2-part album, so you got to sit and listen through the two of them. So yeah, they were both really good, but I just haven't completely digested them the way that I need to. Super cool project.
I've never gotten into them, but they've been on my list of a band that like I really want to get into. I love the aesthetic. I love the idea of it. I love the sound. I love the fact that they're out of Australia, which is wild.
the way he weaves the neoclassical into the black metal is just
Yeah, it's something that'd be right up my alley. It's like
it's done better than I've heard anybody else do that sound.
yeah. It's cool. You're inspiring me to go back and check out a lot of these records of yours because I'm like, man, I need to do that. Like, this is fun.
Hell yeah.
Great pick.
All right, Charlie.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go for let's go for this one. Bathory, Twilight of the Gods. Again, remember that today we're talking about albums that we love. I love this album. I adore this album. But for me, it's a really weird Bathory album in some ways.
It's Korthon's worst vocal performance. It's really bad.
It is Korthon's worst vocal performance.
Yeah.
But it's his best bass performance. It's his best performance in a lot of other ways.
I love that reworked classical song at the outro too. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's a reworking of Gustav Holst's Planets. It's Jupiter, and he turns it into Hammerheart, which interestingly does not appear on Hammerheart, but appears on this album. So there's a lot that's weird about this. It's a weird transitionary record.
Yep.
It's really the last good record for a while before Octagon, or Requiem and Octagon. And yes, Blood on Ice comes after it, but Blood on Ice was actually recorded and conceived right after Blood, Fire, Death. And he felt like people were not ready to hear it yet. So he literally wrote Hammerheart as a way to transition people into the idea of him moving away from the speed metal and black metal of his youth and towards that more mid-paced Viking sound. So Twilight of the Gods, it's just an interesting record in that time. After Hammerheart, before a bunch of other crocks of shit, it's the most atmospheric and it's the least immediate of the good albums for me. And so it's one that I don't go back to very often, but there's a lot of special moments on it. The song Twilight of the Gods, Through Blood by Thunder, just the instrumental performances all across this thing. They are special. They are unique. They are one of a kind. They're immaculate in this performance.
Yep.
But yeah, it's great. So, that's my Bathory pick, Twilight of the Gods. And it's really long too, but that's okay.
Yeah. Still classic. All right, let's do some sweater wearing Norwegian black metal. Aspira Heim Sofina by Arcturus. This is the one for me. I love this record. I think this is a really good jazzy inspired black metal record. Very strange. I like Garm's vocal performance on here, and I don't always love Garm's vocal performance. I think, like Olden Domain, I'm not a fan of the way he sings on that record.
Yeah, his singing on that makes it hard for me.
It makes it hard, and but then again, he comes back with Nathan's Madrigal and just absolutely scathing, crushing, and Bergtop. He sounds. I like both his clean singing and the grim vocals, but here, it's cool that you have a bunch of Norwegian alumni getting together and doing a band that sounds very much like a Norwegian band, but doesn't sound like any of the other bands that they're in. So I think this was a project mainly put together by the keyboardist Sverd is his name. Excellent. I don't even really go and revisit the second record either. The only song on that album I really like is the Chaos Path with Vortex singing on it. That song is great, but
yeah,
he is so much more of a colorful vocalist than Garm is. Always has been, always will be. But this is a great record. I just need to be in the mood for it. And I was looking through the CD racks today. I'm like, oh wow, yeah. Maybe this will go in the to listen to this weekend stack. I'm going to be busy this weekend spinning some records apparently. Jacob.
That's one I need to check out. The only Arcturus I think I've listened to was Sideshow Symphonies, and I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I ended up sending it to our pal Jeff.
Yep.
He was a big fan of that.
That would certainly be more up his alley, I would guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that one sounds like one that I might actually dig. But I'll be quick with this one. We just talked about Bathory. Maybe a little more controversial pick for Bathory with Hammerheart. Probably my third favorite out of the catalog, but almost always I'm going to pick the Nordland albums if I'm feeling more for that Viking-y side, or I'm going to go for the Return if I want the black metal side. And this one kind of sits between the two, and so it often gets forgotten because I just end up pulling
Blood on Ice reigns eternal over that entire catalog. What an amazing, perfect album.
Blood on Ice would have been another great
Man.
pick because that's one I love, but I overlook it for the other two, and this one even.
Go listen to the song "The Lake" and be amazed at how great he was. Amazing.
I love that. I love that song.
Yeah.
But,
Wood Woman too. Wood Woman's also a stellar song.
Yeah.
Being number 4 out of a band's catalog means it doesn't get pulled a lot.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. Blood on Ice is one of my top 10 metal records of all time.
It's a beautiful, amazing, perfect record.
Oh man. And like, did you know like 3 of the riffs on there are just straight up from Man of War?
Oh yeah. And
that video of the guy who like goes through and like dissects all of the times that he ripped off other bands.
Oh yeah.
If I was to sit down and honestly rank Bathory, I probably would end up putting both Hammerheart and Blood on Ice over the Nordland.
Those were so good.
Too. But they're so good, but
beautiful records.
They're different. So I ended up just going for the two different aspects of Bathory instead of the middle ground. I end up going for the Return, or I end up going for Nordland. I just forget to go for that middle ground of stuff.
And that whole Nordland saga stuff, everything was right. He got it all right. The production on both of those records are beautiful. They sound great. The drum sound is right. His singing, like the song Ring of Gold.
That was the song.
Beautiful.
I love that song.
His voice. I mean, where was this Corathon when he was recording?
Swing my
yeah,
my soul in the wind.
Twilight of the Gods. I mean, where was he on that record? He was struggling. I don't know, but yeah, Yep, Chris Maycock is writing a book on Bathory. As soon as that's done, folks, we're going to do a Bathory dive with him and talk about the book and do that. So
awesome.
Hopefully coming this year, we'll see, but we will see.
I need that. I need that in my life. I've been wanting a good Bathory book to read. So
yeah, and it'll be a good one too.
Is that like just independently done, or is that through like the Decibel book series? Or
no, it's independently. I think he's doing it with I think someone from Iston is also involved in it.
Cool.
But yeah, when he was on with the Motorhead, we did Motorhead with him. He was saying that it's been in development and work. He's been working on it for a long time, running into some roadblocks here and there. The family hasn't been overly favorable in dealing with, apparently, when trying to get information. Like the sister didn't want to talk much about anything, and I don't know.
I've heard interesting stories about the family for sure, and the rumor mill of unreleased material. I'm curious what there is to that.
I'm wondering. I mean, I know when he died, he was working on an album called The Vikings.
Yep.
But again, like Devin stated in the chat earlier, I mean, he lied about everything. He was an enigma. He lied to try to create mystery around it, which back in the day when there was no internet, you could do that, and it was quite effective. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it in a long time, so I don't know where it's at or if it's even still if it's still going, but hopefully. Yeah. All right. Charlie, you just went, right? No, Jake went.
Yep.
So, so it's me. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm getting down to my last couple records that I had picked out.
Perfect timing because we're about 20 minutes away from the witching hour.
All right. So here's a band that I love. Here's a band that I think maybe has the most dense catalog in all of the Viking-inspired heavy metal, black metal. That is
Yeah.
this band. This
When you're trying to
band.
say the name of the band, it sounds like you got punched in the mouth.
Yeah. Arstidir Livsens. Now I got to meet one of these guys when we were on tour, when we played in Bergen, Norway. I got to meet one of these guys and talk to him about the project, and that was a real blast. It was really fun. I mean, I love this band. You put on any of their records, and it just immediately it's some of the most transportative, Viking metal, but it's got so much more to it than that. There's just some really stunning and brilliant work being done. I mean, the dialect is all in like dead languages from Iceland and Scandinavian countries. It's just incredible. It's almost like a Rosetta Stone where they purposefully don't give you the means to translate it and know what it's about. It's eerie for that reason. But for the same reason, it's really dense. It's really off-putting. It's really impenetrable as much as it is alluring, right? Kind of like with Korthon wanting to be mysterious. Well, there's a lot of mystery with this music, not knowing exactly what it's all about, even if you try your best to translate it on Google. I don't know if they have like English translations for all of their records. I know that for some of them they do, but this record in particular, I mean, this is one of the easier ones to listen to. This is Jotunheima Dogford. But
Thanks, Lee.
yeah. Charlie, we are better than and Viking metal. I don't know what that means, but this is a great album. And cheers.
All right. I don't know where to. Oh, we're gonna pick this one. Slaughter Sun, Crown of the Triarchy. Dawn. Love this record. I will say it feels a bit long, but that's my only complaint. Talk about the Swedish mid 90s era. This is a late 90s Necropolis Records release. But these guys were right in there too. Searing, melodic, the cross between death and black metal, much like Dissection or Unanimated or Vinterland or you name it. A lot of bands in this ilk. The EP before this I love, and this is just, they built upon it. It's just Henke Floros is his name. His vocals are just absolutely searing, crushing vocals. I used to listen to this endlessly when it came out, and that might be why I just kind of look at it and know what I'm going to get into, but it's a bit long around the edges towards the end. I feel I've been battered and bruised long enough. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a fantastic record, even though I haven't spun it in a very long time. So definitely, if you are a fan of that searing, melodic, Swedish black and death or death and black sound, this is definitely a band that should be towards the top of your list. Slaughter Sun, their final record. They've been talking about putting out a new record for years and years, and it just does not seem to get done. So Jacob.
All right, we've gone this whole time without pulling a non-metal album, so got to break the streak. This was an album that I was surprised to see mentioned on a, like a What's Been Spinning portion of the album club. I think TJ brought this up. Steven Wilson Jr. with Son of Dad.
Yep.
Super cool album. I love this album, but I don't love all of this album. It's definitely got some not great songs on it. My understanding is he comes from a songwriting background in the country music scene. So he falls into a lot of the tropes of modern country on a few of the tracks on here, not a lot of them.
Does he have a song about a tailgate?
No.
Sleeping in the bed of his truck?
Thank God.
Oh.
It doesn't go into the redneck tropes, just kind of the verse, chorus, verse tropes of country, where it's not the most well-written songs. But the reason why I love this but don't listen to it very often is those of you who don't know, I lost my dad a few years back, and there's 3 songs on here. The first one is Father Son. It's about his, coming to grips with his dad passing and realizing that he, is like his dad and is, proud of that, growing up not being proud of being like your dad and wanting to distance yourself.
Yeah.
And then regaining that closeness. And then there's a track called Grief is Only Love. Basically a track about the loss. And then Hang in There, which, follows along the lines of losing your father.
Yeah.
And specifically those 3 tracks are something I return to every year, at that anniversary period of losing my father, just on, he passed on Father's Day. So Father's Day is when I return to that and have that, emotional experience. But outside of those tracks, there's some good tracks on here, like American Gothic, Mighty Beast, Year to Be Young, 1994. The super cool album. He has a lot of there's a lot of country influence on here, but I wouldn't call it like modern country influence. It's older country, as well as some like Bruce Springsteen influence to his songwriting. Super cool album, worth checking out if you're a fan of Springsteen style stuff and maybe like 70s or 80s country music.
Yeah. That is so interesting you bring that record up. I mean, a good friend of mine just sent me that record a couple months back, and he was like, dude, you have to listen to this. And he learned this. You said it's Father Son, is that song?
Yeah.
So he like literally just he picked up a guitar and played that song for me and was like, you need to check out this album. And I went home from like hanging out with him I think it was at Cascadian Midsummer, and listened to that record. But yeah, that record is a deep one for a lot of people.
Yeah. And like I said, it's got some stinker tracks on there, but by and large it's a really good album. So if you throw it on and some of the tracks are like it's kind of not great. He does have a great singing voice, which definitely helps carry those lesser tracks. And it's not, overproduced like a lot of modern country is. 99% of modern country I can't stand.
Yeah, I agree.
What's his name? Zach Bryan he's one of the few artists that's decent out there.
Oh, Zach Brown?
What's that?
Zach Brown?
No, not Zach Brown. Zach Bryan.
Oh.
I
was flipping through the Walmart racks here the other day, and there was a Zach Brown album in there, and it looked like a metal cover. Like, who the hell is this? I pulled it up and like, oh, Zach Brown band. It was like, it looked like a metal cover. It was like, this does not look like a country record.
Oh, you want to see something bad? There's an artist. His name's Cody Jinks. He's a total piece of shit, but he's got some albums that look like horrible Power Wolf albums that got shelved.
Yeah, the only newer stuff I fuck with is the alt country scene, like Jason Isbell and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that stuff's got some really, really good stuff, but modern country is not for me.
Yeah, by and large,
pop music with songs about trucks instead of going to the club.
All the same key, all the same topics in the lyrics. It's ridiculous. I had to go somewhere with my dad here a couple weeks ago, and got in his truck and had the local country station on, and at about 3 songs in, I'm like, Jesus Christ, Dad, this stuff sucks. He's like, you're a fine one to fucking talk the garbage you listen to. Yeah, I know.
One thing that I do love about modern country, though, is that they accidentally over-engineer the drums to where they sound like fucking insane metal drums, like the doomiest tom buildups that are like so unnecessarily big. Same thing with like a lot of those mega church bands where like the drums are just so insanely huge. I want to figure out how we can turn that drum sound into a metal record so bad.
Have either of you guys heard the country rap shit that's out now?
Oh no.
Oh, I had to ride in somebody else's car at work the other day. They had to come pick me up from somewhere, and she was playing that shit, and I just wanted to take a drill to my ears.
Thanks, Toby Keith. It's all Toby Keith's fault, man, on that one.
That's where country died.
Yeah. All right.
Garth Brooks already started the downfall, and then Toby Keith came in.
Thunder Rolls. I remember when he was on top of the world back in the day, boy. Oh man.
I
He's wearing those
floating,
fucking shirts and ugh.
Yeah.
I say that as someone who really likes Garth Brooks, but that was the beginning of the end.
Are you a true fan? Are you into Chris Gaines, bro? Do you even Chris Gaines, bro?
Rick sent me some Chris Gaines. I haven't mustered up the courage to play it yet, though.
I'm sure it's wonderful. All right.
Here is an album that I'm just going to put up on the screen. Krallis, Years Past Matter. I think it's brilliant. I mean, when this came out, there was nothing like it. When Krallis came out, there was nothing like Krallis. They are highly prolific. They put out a lot of records, and they're not like that Terha band or anything, but it's definitely a lot to keep up with. And for me, there's a couple records after this one that I absolutely love. Go Be Forgotten is maybe my favorite Krallis record, actually. And even some of the newer stuff that's more like progressive and experimental and strange and trying to sound like synthesizer caves and shit. I think it's all really cool and fantastic. But this record is definitely a pillar in their discography. Years Past Matter. I mean, what was it? It's 13 years ago now, 14 years ago that this came out. And it's one that I always go back to and I just look at it and I think, wow, how the fuck, what were they on when they came up with this? Because this is really like, this could either be the straw that broke the camel's back or when they finally had their moment of breaking through their ceiling and becoming the band that they are today. It's a turning point in their discography. But it's fatiguing. It's fatiguing in a very similar way to Slaughter Sun. It's pummeling. It's aggressive. It's vicious. And those are not things that I think most people associate with a band like Krallis. They just associate them with being, proggy and weird and experimental and strange. But this album, this is a fucking metal record. This is metal. And it's heavy. It's intense. It is unrelenting on a level that a lot of bands just wish they could be. But that's the reason that you don't put it on so often. It's long. It's also, one of those albums where every single title of every track is just I or I. Like it's just like a random number of I's on every track. So it's not like they really want you to be able to discern the different movements in terms of the name that they give each song for you to remember, fondly. It all flows together and kind of blends together. And it's an incredible experience, but it's off-putting and foreboding. This is a great record. This is a great band. I will defend them forever and always. Even their new stuff, I think, is fantastic. But man, takes a lot of bandwidth. Takes a lot of mental capacity to get through a record in one sitting. It's not for the Instagram, TikTok age, this band.
I struggle with albums that I feel are smarter than I am. I have to have an IQ to be able to listen to the record.
That's been my struggle with Krallis, Marty.
Yeah.
I've checked them out. I actually saw them live in a record store. They played in a record store. Wayfarer played with them. That's why I went, and Krallis was the headliner. And I enjoyed it, but I just, I enjoyed them live, but checking them out on album, was in over my head. I need to try diving back into that band.
If I were to recommend one record to do so with, it would be Go Be Forgotten.
Okay.
It's got a very generic black metal looking album cover, but it's a great harbinger of what the record actually sounds like. It's still experimental, still Krallis, but it has more of a sense of melody and more of a sense of songwriting. And the first track on that album, the guitarist Mick Barr, is that his name? He had a band in the 90s called Beast Lore. It was like it's like if you like Nathan's Madrigal, go hunt down the original Beast Lore demo. It's on Bandcamp. It's also on YouTube. And the first track on Go Be Forgotten is a cover of that project.
Okay.
And it sets the tone perfectly. It is so much more of an homage. It's like the only time in their discography where Krallis is looking back rather than like stargazing or whatever you want to say about them now. But that's a good record.
What's the Beast Lore album to check out?
Let me Google it really quick.
Is it like first one, or is it
The Forest for Which We Have Killed? It's a demo from 1998.
okay?
And the song that they cover is The Forest for Which We Have Killed. And the original version of that, man, it is Nathan's Madrigal style nar black metal from the 90s. But it's US black metal, which is really unique. So
I just added that, and I added that Krallis album to my Bandcamp wish list to check out.
Sometimes it's okay to just have a one-on-one with yourself and say, you know what? I am not smart enough to listen to this record. I've done it many times. I'm okay with it. Yeah, sometimes you just have to make hard realizations, you know? All right. Well, I'm going to finish this one up, and I have one time for one more. Do you guys have one more after this one?
I got one more in me.
Yeah,
okay.
I gotta go grab my one more. I forgot to pull it.
Okay. Well, of the first 4 Corner records, this has always been my least favorite, but it is one of those. This is Corner's Mental Vortex, and it wasn't because it wasn't a good record. I was so astounded by this band's ability to write flashy technical guitar riffs, but yet somehow within that framework actually make memorable songs and hooks. And when they started to strip that away as they went on this album, there was an obvious attempt to dumb down what they had established previous to this. But you know what? It still made really catchy songs, and I really ended up loving the record. But this is a tough record to sit on the shelf next to, you know, No More Color or R.I.P. or Punishment for Decadence. I'm always going to grab for one of those 3 first. And Grin after this was a continuation and absolute abortion of a record, in my opinion. New album, pretty good. I like it. I own it. I don't love it, but it's really good record. This one here, it should get more love. And again, they end it with another I Want You, She's So Heavy Beatles cover. It was at the end of Punishment for Decadence. They did Purple Haze.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they're pulling some really weird stuff to cover, and they aren't necessarily doing a great job at it. But anyway, Corner, they're absolutely fantastic. I just don't ever really listen to this record anymore.
I got some love for Corner. I love their experimental nature. Yeah, Grin sucks. I'm not a Grin fan.
God, it's so boring.
And the new album is really good. It's a good apology, you know. And I'm glad that they didn't just try to go back. Now, I don't think that they navigate the transition into their new era the way that Voivod has.
Yeah. Voivod, how in the hell they found Chewy, Daniel Mongrain? I mean, he completely channels the spirit of Piggy and adds his own little zazz on it, you know, which is.
And The Wake, one of my top 5 records of theirs.
What a great record. Yeah. Even Synchro Anarchy, so many good riffs on that record.
Yeah, it's an incredible record. I can't wait for their next one.
All right. Last round. Jake, what you got?
All right. I'm dropping it in the chat because it's in my unorganized section of records, and I wasn't able to find it quick enough, but I'll see if it shows up on here very well. Pull the old Allen trick and show the
Looks like you have
digital.
the light really dim on the phone, like the
Let me try.
turn up
I
the
tried
brightness.
dimming it to see if it would show up better.
There you go.
It's a band called Maudices. They're from France. Put out through Sentient Ruin. Dropped in originally in 23. Super limited run if they even did a physical. And then Sentient Ruin picked it up in 24 and put it out. And what it is I would describe it as like Primitive Man meets Dragged into Sunlight. It doesn't have so much of the sludge of Primitive Man. It's got a lot more of the black metal influence, but it's super dark sounding, and it's all kind of anti-Catholic Christian themed, just dark, evil, heavy as hell music. Super cool album.
I'll put it up on the screen. Maudices.
Yeah, a French project, and yeah, it was the debut release from them. Highly recommend checking it out. Maudices, and it's self-titled album. It's almost like war metal, but it doesn't quite reach that level.
Maudices.
If you dig, Dragged into Sunlight, then I really recommend checking it out.
Yeah, I'm putting that in my Bandcamp right now. Cool.
You lost me at war metal.
It's not quite war metal. It's more to the black metal side. Just very extreme black metal, very heavy.
Thanks, Metal Lives. Any of you like old Kalma? They will return Black Waltz or 12 gauge.
Yeah, I dig Kalma.
Yeah, Kalma's the only one that I know from that list.
Oh, those are I think album titles. Their first few albums.
Oh,
I know they will return in Black Waltz, but
12 gauge. I don't know.
I'm not sure if I know that one.
I think I recognize the name, but have never.
There's a album, Swamp something. It's one of their albums.
Hey, Brian Rotten, thanks so much for the super chat.
Cool.
Prometheus by Emperor is an album I love, but I rarely listen to it. I'm typically listening to the other 3 studio albums. Appreciate you guys and everyone. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for the support.
Yeah, cheers, man. And Prometheus is a great choice for this. It's daunting. That is a daunting record. All right, I guess, is that it?
Nope, you got you and then me and we're done.
Oh shit. All right. Okay. So this one's not going to be a very deep cut, amazing pick, but it'll probably piss someone off, so I'm going for it. Still Life, Opeth. I know I've talked about Opeth twice on this show now, and I'm tired of talking about Opeth, just like you, Marty. But I gotta admit, this is an album that I know is a classic. I know
Great
it's
record.
a banger.
Yeah.
I know it's flawless top to bottom, but it's longer than My Arms Your Hearse, less anthemic than Blackwater Park, and it's just, I don't know. I don't reach for it as much as I should. Though I will say, weirdly enough, I think my favorite song in here is probably Face of Melinda. I don't know what else to say about it. It's another one of those records that I've listened to countless times. I literally wore out a CD of it twice. So I'm on my 3rd and 4th copies of it. And I'm not going to say I could never hear this record again and be happy, because I love it. It's perfect. But yeah, Opeth and I have a strange relationship now. For a long, long time. And in a lot of ways, they still are my favorite band, probably. But I don't know. I don't have much else to say on this.
Okay.
It's overplayed in my house.
I ask everybody that loves Opeth where to start with them. What's your recommendation? Because I just haven't been able to get into them yet.
So I hate to be like, oh, it depends, but I mean, are you more into like? I would say 2 records that if you feel like you know what Opeth is and it hasn't done it for you, and you want to try a different angle, 2 records that I'd give a shot. Then Marty may not agree, but number 1, check out Watershed.
Okay.
Watershed, I think it's their heaviest, their darkest. It is accessible, but it's got vibe. It's got this eerie, somber thing. It's Jens Bogren production, but done really well. If you want to give another shot to one of the 90s records, My Arms Your Hearse is just...
Yeah, I was going to say, Dave's got it right here. That's my answer. My Arms Are Hearse. It's got Demon of the Fall on it, which is absolutely fucking crushing.
April Ethereal, When.
Yeah.
I think I try Opeth once a year and just it hasn't yet latched to me.
Well, if you've never tried Watershed, and do it with the lyrics, because lyrics are batshit crazy, it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride, and it might be your kind of crack through.
It's weird. It's weird because I love tons of bands that are very clearly Opeth influenced.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't understand why I don't get Opeth.
It's
So I'll check out Watershed next.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.
Okay.
All right. My final poll for the night. And again, I love this album. Worshipped it when it came out. I haven't listened to it in a while, oddly enough. And it's Dreamweaver by Sabbath from UK. Second album. It's a fantastic record. And it's kind of, Martin Walker, very good lyricist, good singer, very rapid fire narration, kind of talk shouting style of singing. It's kind of got the John Arch style here, where he tries to plaster a million words in between all of the notes on this album, but it works. Somehow it works. Check out the lyric sheet on here. It's immense. But thrash metal with a pagan vibe to it always was great. Love the cover artwork. Love this band. And then Martin and a number of the guys leave the band, and the band's third album, Morning Has Broken. They got a new power metal type singer on, and it is an absolute disappointment. But Martin and a few of the guys started the band Skyclad and put out the Wayward Sons of Mother Earth. Another one, Charlie, if you're not familiar with that, a fiddle predominant thrash pagan metal.
Skyclad.
The Wayward Sons of Mother Earth.
I feel like I know that.
Some definite fiddle jamming on there for sure. They make it a part of the music, and it is an instrument that stays with Skyclad throughout. But
cool.
This album rules. I love it. I've look at it, and a lot of happy thoughts come to mind, because this was one of the bands in my teenage years. Anything that was on Noise Records, I had to have it, and this is one of those bands that blew me away. And to this day, there's still an amazing spot in my collection. Don't spin it as much as I should. Maybe it's going on the pile. Look at this.
How tall is that fucking pile now?
It's a few. There's a few on there. It's teetering. I don't know where I put anyway. Yeah. So, gentlemen, that's it. We made it through. 8 minutes over midnight. We're good. We're not up all night doing this. And thank you, boys, for jumping on at kind of a last minute thing. It was greatly appreciated. Jacob, it's great to have you on, your first time on the channel. Everybody, please go check out the Upside Down Church, link in the description. Go give him some subs. He's around 200. He needs more, because he's going to be blowing the doors off the place this year. You wait.
Yeah.
I'm doing it right now.
I know my last video, I'll admit it was a little rough, but I'm shaking the dust off. I'm shaking the rust off.
Hey, Metalville, thanks a bunch. Yep, Hetfield is got a mean right hand. And say what you want about John Schaefer of Iced Earth, he is also an amazing downpicker rhythm guitarist for sure. Charlie, what's going on with you? Cheers on the Weft success. You completely killed it, brother. And
thanks
for those of you. Okay, CDs are coming. They're at the plant. I'm expecting them any minute now. So people that have placed a pre-order with a CD attached to it, sorry, it's been a long ass wait, and I feel really bad about that, but nothing I can do about it at this point. We are at the mercy of time at this point. And if you wanted a copy of the Weft, a Splintered Ore record, the first pressing is completely sold out through us and through the band. But guess what? It's at the plant. Another 300 copies are coming, this time with gold vinyl. So I'll be posting that up as soon as they're in hand. I'm not going to make people wait for a pre-order again with as long as they've been waiting on the CD. So
yeah, that's what we got going on. I mean, yeah, just waiting on CDs, and then second press coming through. We are planning on performing live in 2026 sometime. I got a lineup picked out, and obviously riffs are collecting, starting to put together ideas, start of a new record. But really, I want to see this one through, support it, celebrate it, play a couple live shows for it, hopefully here in this calendar year as well as next year. So be on the lookout for that. Other than that, Panopticon, of course, did a bunch of strings on the new record that's coming out this year.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things that are kind of around the corner, but we're in the calm before the storm, the winter before.
The storm is coming. A lot of stuff coming out on Bind Room this year, and Glorious Dead is still working in the studio. The foundation of our third record, Maggot Age, is done. We just need to vocals, guitar melody lines, solos, and mix mastering. So I mean, there's still shit to do. It's going to be a while. So yeah, everybody, link to Weft in the description. Go check out his Bandcamp. I think he's got pre-orders up for the CDs, those ill-fated CDs.
No, I need to.
They are coming.
You know what? I'll put that pre-order up tonight. I actually haven't done so yet, but Marty did a great job with the layout of it. Put a lot of love into it. I can't wait to see how they turn out in person. So
we will see soon. But everybody, thanks. Guys, don't hang up. We're going to chat for a minute. We appreciate all you in the chat. Thank you for the super chats tonight and taking the time to hang out with us on a Friday night. And Alan will be back next week, and hopefully he's doing good. Cheers to Alan. And yeah, everybody, stay radical, hardcore radical. Cheers.